The Sydney Swans, as I said, very close to top spot. Peter Vandy on behalf of Lou Richards, Bob Skilton, points. Umpire Rowan Soares checking the readiness of players. First quarter, the battle for top spot from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Huge crowd in attendance here. Weather not quite as good as it is in Melbourne. We'll see a great game, I'm sure. Hawthorn kicking to the left, and that's the wind. The end favoured by the breeze. Mark taken by Chris Mew. He's had a few injury problems this year too. I think this is his third game back after some Achilles problems. Coleman in front. Noel Brewerton got into the back of Bernard Toohey. Swans play on out to Bolton and turn back to Dennis Carroll. Big crowd making plenty of noise here this afternoon. Comes down to Danaher at left half forward flank. Ayres, Langford. That's a push in the back surely. Free kick will go to the Swans. It will be taken down there by Little Mitchell. And he should be able to score a goal from there. He's only 30 metres out on a slight angle. Hit the post. I hope you can hear me. The crowd is absolutely unbelievable here. 1 point. The Swans open the scoring at the minute 15 mark of the term. Chris Langford. He's had plenty of work in the last couple of weeks, believe me. Over the head of DP Domenico. That's almost a centre wing. DP Domenico looking for a free kick. He will get one for a high tackle. Certainly one of the characters in the Hawthorn side. And Alan Jeans will be looking to him for a good game this afternoon. He's trying to find Brewerton, and he's got him. Brewerton marking inside the 50-metre line.
A player that really means so much to the Hawthorn forward line, Pete.
If he plays football.
Not just because of his 8 goals in last year's grand final, but he really have struggled up forward in recent weeks, and he kicked 3 goals in the second term last week. And when he went missing in the last half, Hawthorn went missing.
Did they what? Brewerton. Chance for Hawthorn's first goal. Won't quite make the distance. Dunstall almost a grab, out of bounds, boundary throw in.
Out of bounds in the forward position for Hawthorn. A chance for them to score. Of course, the Swans have got 1 point on the board. Ball back into play now. That's Healy going after it. Gets clear, but he's grabbed. Picked up now. A snap by Loveridge. It's off target. That's through for a point. So we see the score now level, 1 behind each. Into the quarter now by just on 2.5 minutes. Very big crowd here today. I'd say, Bob, this is up to the Carlton crowd, around about the 38,000 mark.
We're very close to it at least, Lou.
And a tremendous atmosphere here. And there's no doubt about the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's certainly made for Australian football for television, isn't it?
It's got great atmosphere, hasn't it?
Certainly has. Ball back into play. DP Domenico goes down, picked up by Tuck, comes across, and Curran's got it. Now, he's only about 30 metres out from goal directly in front. And I know that Hawthorn will be going directly down the ground. I know the coach, that's the instruction he gave them, Alan Jeans.
Well, it's the only way on this ground, Lou, although you have got plenty of space if a player is on his own.
That's right. Now, Curran having that shot from about 30 metres out. And there's no doubt about that one. That's the first goal of the match going to Hawthorn. Of course, they're undefeated up here against the Swans. 1 goal, 7 points, Hawthorn. For Sydney, 1 behind.
Well, undefeated up here in Sydney, full stop, Lou.
That's right. There's DP Domenico, Bob.
Well, DP Domenico brought that down. Tuck puts the ball forward, and Curran out in front of Mark Roberts. And Curran might be a bit of a handful for Mark Roberts because he's a shrewd player and normally not quite tall enough, and he might worry Mark Roberts.
Running on the centre bounce again. The crowd really on their toes for this important game today. Whoever wins stay. Well, Hawthorn win, they stay on top. The Swans win, they take the top position. Eads grabbed as he gets a hand pass back. The umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Hawthorn. It'll go to Russo. Russo goes wide. And there we see Morris driving the ball long, looking for Curran. It's too long for him. The ball is out of bounds. And that'll be a penalty free kick to Mark Roberts down there at the half-back, or down towards the back pocket position.
Russo was lined up on Williams in the centre, Lou.
Well, it's his job of tagging, and we saw that happen last week. Robertson did a pretty good job for Carlton. Pete blocked him out of the game.
Yeah, we've still got 22 possessions, Lou.
Yes, well, he usually gets about 35, and you can reduce him down to about half. You're doing pretty well, aren't you?
Yes, but that's the value of Williams, even when he plays what we call a not-so-good game. That's a great mark for Tony Danaher. Williams is still value to the side.
And of course, Danaher's due for a good game. We saw him put in a shocker last week against the Blues.
5 minutes gone, first quarter. Langford and Kappa. Plenty of fumbling going on down there. It's left to Stevie Wright to try to get clear. He can't do so. Good block by Ayres. Funyuns left to Deer and out of bounds. Touched. It will be a boundary throw-in. Left half-forward flank for the Swans.
Lester Smith has got the job of picking up Jimmy Edmund. Russell Morris onto Tony Maud. So the Swans have lined up as selected.
Out to the centre wing position. Tui should pick it up in front of Eade. Does so, but a good tackle by Eade. Takes the Swans player over the line. And another throw-in will follow.
I think you'd say the Swans coach is pretty predictable, Bob, wouldn't you?
Yes, Lou.
We had a very heavy shower during the last quarter of the reserves game, and it was blowing the wind and the rain from right to left, so therefore favouring the end this quarter that Hawthorn are kicking to.
Just
Same predictability, Lou, I think over the years has been one of his assets.
Well, that's right.
With his own team, I'm talking about.
Knocked down to Rodney Eade. Looks for the hand pass to Kennedy, who was named on the bench. Kennedy up towards Dunstall, can't take the mark. Di Domenico, chance for a score, can't get the goal. Might be through for a point, hit the behind post. Boundary throw-in will follow.
Kennedy on the half-forward flank. Peter, I thought he may have lined up at half-back, but Mew at centre half-back, Morris and Robertson on the flanks.
Kennedy this time has a shot at goal, touched, I think, off the hands. Yes. The way he put up the two hands there, I thought he was going to get a goal. So Hawthorn in the lead by 7 points. 1-2 to 1 behind. Rod Carter. In front is Tuck. Can't take the mark. Russo doing well so far on Williams. Oh, that's a nice old push in the back. Dunstall's got the mark. I'll be surprised. Oh, he's going to play it. Rod Carter doesn't like it.
Well, the umpire is saying that Carter slipped, but I don't know about that. Let's see that again, Bob.
Well, we watch on replay now. Well, from the umpire's position, I don't think there's any way. He was looking straight down the ground, and you know, even from here on the angle, it didn't really look like much of a push. I wouldn't have paid it personally.
Dunstall for his first goal and Hawthorn second, and he's put it through.
Gillette is changing the face of shaving. First we made it closer. Now we're making it smoother. Introducing new Contour Plus with lubricating strip. It actually releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Smoothness like you've never felt before. New Contour Plus. First we made it closer, now we've made it smoother.
Hawthorn lead by 13 points as we approach the 8-minute mark of the quarter.
The ball out towards the Swans half-forward line, picked up nicely by Edmund. A hand pass coming back. It's a rough one. Mew goes in. He's blocked beautifully by Danaher, but Lux his way that time as it's picked up hit by Mew over to Buckenara. Ball punched out again. Platt coming in to meet it now, but he's beaten for the ball that time by Murphy. The ball over the line and out of bounds on the centre wing position. Well, this is going to be a torrid game here today, I would say, because if Hawthorn lose this match, they lose the top spot. So they'll be flat out to win, and their form over the last few weeks hasn't been too good. Healy's kick is smothered, picked up again by Ian Roberts. He got one a bit high, and of course Roberts will take the free kick at half-back. This fella's had a good season for the Swans, Bob.
Well, he's had a couple of great seasons now, Lou. It's been a great comeback from a player who was actually dropped off the list.
Great mark to Jimmy Edmund. Jimmy Edmund about 70 metres out from goal, looking for Kappa. It's pretty well covered here now. The ball punched out by Morris. And Langford's got a tough job down there, but he's one of the most aggressive fullbacks in the business and stays very close.
Kept Kappa to 4 last time they met.
Ball back into play again. Knocked out by Lester Smith, picked up by Chris Mew. A high kick back towards the wing position. Buckenara in front. Kennedy grabs that one, a hand pass out to Russo, who's doing pretty well, but he could have grabbed that, but he's knocked it over to Buckenara. Couldn't pick it up. Murphy's grabbed, didn't have the ball. He'll get a free kick for sure. This fella's a bright little player too. I like his style. So this is Murphy with the ball now. Hawthorn off to a good start. 2 goals, 2-14 to the Swans yet to kick a goal. They're only one behind the board. Oh, beautiful mark to Edmund. That's the second good one he's taken. It's spotted to the right at the 50-metre mark. A shot at goal. It'll be marked by forward. Could have been a goal, but he's going to make sure of this.
So I don't think Morwood could have let that one go, Lou. I don't think he realised just exactly where he was. He had to get him to take the mark, and he'll kick this one for sure.
Well, if he misses, he better not go back into the dressing room. I don't think Tommy Hafey'd speak to him again for about another 100 years. There's the ball through for a goal.
Now, come and drive the pure performance of car and engine.
Drive it.
All new Nissan Skyline, purely for the pleasure of driving. 5-speed manual or electronic 4-speed auto. Power steering, stereo sound, 4-wheel disc brakes. Skyline sedans, sports wagons. Very competitively priced.
Drive it, drive it, drive it. Come alive, come and drive. Nissan know-how.
Jimmy Edmund shaping up as a dangerous player for Hawthorn so far. He's had a bad year insofar as injury is concerned. Today might be his day. It's knocked away by Coleman, but picked up by Morris, who started well. Murphy sharks it well. Long kick towards the Swans half-forward zone. Morwood at the back. Edmund crashes into his opponent. Tucker late tackle on Williams. Might be a free kick going Hawthorn's way to Lester Smith, who's got the job, as I said, of minding Edmund, and Edmund on top so far. Bolton, that was a bad pass. Bolton, Edmund again. He's the danger man. Now here's Kappa. Langford's right there with him. And Langford plays it very cagey. Perhaps should have taken it out of bounds. That wasn't good defence. Morris, as I said, doing well so far. This time it is out of bounds, and the throw-in will take place about 50 metres from goal.
Different player altogether now, Kappa. See how he went after that guy after he lost the ball last year? He wasn't doing that, Bob.
He's been a far more disciplined player for his side, Lou.
Ball knocked back by Deere and picked up this time by Lester Smith to centre field, over the head of Buckenara. Opens it up for Carroll. Good tackle by Buckenara, and he's holding the ball. It's going the other way. He might get a 15-metre penalty too. He doesn't wait for that. Kennedy at half forward. Just about played on too. Now he has done. On to Rodney Eade. Not the best of hand passes. Eade gets back onto his left foot and shoots at goal. Off target. Dunstall at the back should mark. Can't do so. It's out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Hawthorn at the 12-minute mark of the term.
Buckenara limping behind play.
That's bad news for Hawthorn. He's one of the favourites for the Brownlow. Kennedy over the shoulder. Might be a free kick. It is going to the Swans. And the recipient will be Mark Browning, or will it be Glenn Coleman? It's the latter. Coleman, wobbly punt kick, wide. Too wide almost. Missed the boundary line by a metre, and the throw will take place on centre wing. Kennedy wins that one. Down to Healy. Picked up by Mew. He's got a mark to Tuck. Umpire has played it now. Tuck's not a bad sort of a kick, but he's a good 60 metres out, but with the breeze behind him. Doesn't make the distance. Carter goes the spoil. Picked up by Loveridge. A snapshot of goal was Hawthorn's third. And so Hawthorn off to a good start. Hawthorn now 3 goals, 2, and the Sydney Swans 1-1.
An excellent piece of roving by Richard Loveridge. He realised that the Swans' defence had to punch the ball down, and on replay we see Michael Tuck put the ball forward, Carter punching it forward. Nothing else Carter could do, and Loveridge reading it better than the Swans' smaller men. An excellent goal.
Well, we're just on the 13.5-minute mark. Hawthorn looking pretty good at the early stage of this match. 3 goals, 2-20 to the Sydney Swans. 1 goal, 7 points. Centre bounce again. Knocked out by Deere. Back to DP at America. That's smothered to Buckenara. It's a hand pass back, but covered here now by Tui. Tui couldn't get through the pack. Picked up by Hawk. A hand pass out wide, or a fumble by Healy. Goes after it again. He's found Bolton out there on the wing position. Gets away from Eade nicely. Wright goes back into Eade too, but Bolton gets the kick. Falls short. Kicked off the ground by Williams. Over to Kappa. Snap and goal. But he didn't know where the goals were that time. He lost sight of them completely, and the ball is out of bounds. So he had a chance to kick a goal, but a little bit confused. Ball out of bounds in the forward pocket position. Grabbed by Danaher, then he lost it. Williams tried to crash through the pack, and the umpire will ball it up about 15 to 20 metres out from the Swans' goal. You can see the goal post in the background. 3 goals, 2-20 Hawthorn. To the Sydney Swans, 1 goal, 7 points. Knocked out by Deere. Grabbed by Robertson. A good head pass to Buckenara. He must be ruck roving, Bob. Is he or what?
Yes, Lou.
Okay, there's Brereton, the most brilliant player, but he ran straight into trouble there to Tui. Down went Tui. Tuck got into the Hawks back. He'll get a free kick for sure, I'd say. hand pass coming over now. Carroll's kick is a shocker. Healy with a hand pass out wide to Murphy. He won't waste this one. He has a pot shot at goal, but it won't come around enough. Every time you give him a rep, they let you down. To put it out of bounds on the full, it's still 1 goal, 7 points. The Sydney Swans to Hawthorn 3-2-20. Hawthorn looking the more aggressive side at the moment, but it's early days. It's picked up by Tuck. Tuck's kick is out wide. Coming out to meet it is Richard Loveridge. Grabs it on the boundary line over his head. Did he throw it? The umpire thought so too.
Boundary throwing, is it?
No, a throw he's
I reckon it was a throw.
Oh, I don't think so.
You don't?
No.
Well, I think the umpire might be closer than you, Bob, and I'm not trying to dispute you because you won 3 Brownlow medals.
Between us.
Yeah, we've got 3 between us up here. Picked up by Dippy and Kennedy. Onto Tuck, onto Russo. Doing well on Williams so far, as I mentioned. Clatton at the 50-metre line. Long hand pass. Loveridge onto Buckenara. Not limping now. Right foot snapshot is pretty close, and he's put it through for another one. Hawthorn's 4th.
There's a change in the air. TAA, the airline that was born to serve the needs of all Australians, has now become the airline all Australians can proudly call their own.
Come on and fly, Australia.
Australian Airlines.
Come on and fly.
26 plays 7 at the 16.5-minute mark of the quarter. Coleman has his kick smothered. Breaking away is Robertson. Robertson from the edge of the square. Long shot at goal is well off target, out of bounds on the full. It will be a free kick to Mark Roberts.
Deere having the better of Coleman in the ruck so far, Pete.
It's improved player is Greg Deere. Maybe we could see Ironmonger on the field shortly.
Hawthorn looking a lot more aggressive, Bob, at the moment.
Well, we haven't seen them for a while, Lou, but obviously on the scoreboard, their performances in the last few weeks have left a lot to be desired. Williams to Coleman.
I've seen their last 2 games, Pete, and they've done well in the first half in each of those 2.
Dippy Domenico wobbles the kick up towards Curran, and he's got the mark in the left forward pocket.
He had the better of Essendon in the first half last week, and in fact halfway through the 3rd quarter it was still pretty even, and as Curran now on replay takes the mark. So it's the second half I think would be concerning the Hawks. They fell apart against Fitzroy, they fell apart against Essendon.
I'm sure they've got that in the back of their minds. As Curran fires at goal. He's threaded that one through for 4 points.
Not falling apart at the moment.
I'll say they're not. They're looking good.
That's Curran's 2nd goal. Hawthorn's 5th, 5-2 to 1-1 at the SCG.
Tommy Hafey would be quite worried, I think, at this stage. The Swans usually start pretty well. As Dippy Domenico gets the ball forward, and Peter Curran on replay takes the mark that ends with his 2nd goal. Beautiful camera shot, and it's right through the centre.
Well, it's 25 points the difference as we approach the 18-minute mark of this first quarter. It's all Hawthorn. Williams is grabbed as he tries to get out of the break, smothered by Tuck, picked up by Browning, but there's Morris in the way. He could have marked that. That's good play, actually, because he spotted Buckenara there. Buckenara's kick, it wasn't the greatest one, but Browning saved the day for Hawthorn, a bit going for the boundary line.
He didn't have much chance there. If he took possession, and Dippy Domenico act as equity for that one, Dipper.
I reckon be a life member. Knocked out by Kennedy that time. It comes back out there wide. That's Murphy going down.
Kennedy with his height, it's amazing how often he gets the knockout.
Yes, he can jump, but Kennedy's been having a bad trot. He spent last week in the reserves. I watched him play. He played a fairly good game in that match which we televised last Sunday. It'll be a ball up on that half-forward flank position. Knocked out by Coleman, pushed on by Bolton. The chance for Williams to grab this one. He went straight into Morris, who grabbed him too high. And he'll take the free kick out there, Williams. Got a 15-metre penalty. This brings him right up to the wing position. Drives it over the half-forward line. Overrunning the ball that time was Loveridge. Lester Smith and Edmund having a great battle there. He set into his back. He might have been a bit lucky to get that one, Edmund. So the free kick to go to Edmund, round about the centre half-forward position. Kappa making a move, but being
decent, 15 metres.
I'd reckon.
Like to buy real estate off him.
It's brought him over the 50-metre mark, so he could easily kick a goal because Jimmy Edmund can kick a football. Jimmy Edmund's form has been in and out this year, but he has been knocked about by injury. There's the kick by Edmund. That's a long kick. Off the top of the pack, knocked through by the Hawthorn defence and through for 1 point. So the Sydney Swans move on to 1 goal, 2-8 points to Hawthorn 5-2-32. And we're just on the 20-minute mark of this first quarter. We said before, a very big crowd today, round about the 40,000 mark. Knocked on by Edmund again. Beautifully picked up by Buckenham. He's in top form today, over the head of Brereton. Coming in to meet it now is Carter. Knocked the ball. Tuck goes down. A long hand pass and a beauty to over to Loveridge. A left foot snap and goal. That's another one to the Hawks.
Another day at Midas.
Well, I wouldn't let just anyone fix my car, but I knew that Midas mufflers were specialists. And at their price, even George doesn't mind paying the bill. So when your muffler snuffs it...
Trust it to Midas.
Another day at Midas.
Price was the big worry. So I went to Midas Mufflers for a great price, and better still, we fit it free with a golden guarantee.
When your muffler snuffs it, trust it to Midas.
Just on the 21-minute mark of the first quarter, it's Hawthorn doing it well at the moment. 6 goals to 38 to the Sydney Swans. 1 goal to 8 points.
Danaher almost a mark. Lester Smith gets the better of Edmund on that occasion. Out wide, Eade into his back, Bolton. Back-up support from Mitchell. And it's a free kick going Hawthorn's way. 4 in the back. And Rodney Eade will take the free kick on right centre wing. Coleman underneath it. Brereton late. The 2 number 23s. Coleman's grab, free kick, whatever. And Brereton certainly trying today. Oh, bad hand pass. Socket off the ground by the blonde Hawk. Plenty of Swans players are there. None can pick it up. It's left finally to Williams. Good tackle. Possesses him. Dippy, Domenico and Platten in there for Hawthorn. Likewise Murphy for the Swans. Birdie wins out. But a badly directed kick goes straight to Rod Carter. Gets around Loveridge. Carter straight down the ground. Danaher, one-handed. Hawk. Good tackle. Ayres. Robertson overruns it. Healy. Oh, great soccer tactics. Down to Tony Morwood. Morwood at left half forward, or forward pocket actually, had a shot at goal, but he's missed it and put it through for a behind.
That deserved better, Pete, because that was brilliant play on the part of Morwood, Bobby.
Oh, great play by Healy. He was on the ground to kick the ball off the ground and get it down to give Morwood the chance. It was excellent play by Gerard Healy.
Chris Langford to bring the ball back into play. Wide towards the outer side. Danaher underneath it. Might almost be a free kick against Mew. Danaher goes for the hand pass. Coleman. Ayres. No one there for Hawthorn. Danaher again. Paddles it out wide. Well done to Coleman. A ball to the 50-metre line over the top. Morris. Morwood. Oh, not a good hand pass over the head of Paul Hawke. The direction was there. The height was just a little bit too much for him to handle. Now a chance for the Swans again as Mitchell gives it to Murphy. Murphy inside the 50-metre line. Should score from there. Looks good. Off target or yes, one behind. So the Swans wasting a few opportunities in the last minute or so. 1-4 to 6-2. Hawthorn by 28.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. 23 minutes gone of this first quarter. And Hawthorn doing it well as it goes out wide to Buckenham. Buckenham, there'll be a 15-metre penalty, nearly a reportable offence too. The umpire coming out, have a go now.
Definite tactic by Hawthorn. They're all bunching up straight up the centre of the ground, and then either one or two are leading wide, and either pass to it or a big lead up the ground. It's a beautiful mark by Piero Domenico, who's doing well, and he's caught one there.
15-metre penalty against Williams. It stunned him a bit from the...
Great mark on replay. Deep Piero Domenico. He's playing a superb game so far.
Right to the solo plexus that one was. It was a left-hander.
Cop that.
Cop that. Go on with that, young Harry. And I'll tell you what, he's fixed himself up. He's okay, Deep Piero Domenico.
Merv Williams would have loved that one, Lou.
Certainly would have. Hit him right in the breadbasket as the ball goes right for the goals now. But as the big fella off target, he is. And it's through for 1 point. He's holding the stomach a bit. 1 goal for 10 points. He's got a fair size one there too to rub. 6 goals, 339 in favour of Hawthorn.
Talk about people in glass houses.
The ball back into play again. Williams grabbed that one. Want this little fella to fire today. Gave a quick hand pass over to Bolton. A left footer out wide towards the wing position. Ball tapped away from Kennedy. Grabbed by Ayres. A beautiful hand pass out to Loveridge. Loveridge gets it over to Tuck. Tuck doing a great job. They've got plenty of good players today. Hawthorn as the ball goes up there to Dunstall. Oh, he dropped that one. I think he grabbed it before, thought he had it before it landed there. So the ball is out of bounds in the forward pocket position for Hawthorn, about 10 metres around from their goal, but they're looking good, 39 points to 10.
That breeze is fairly strong, as Pete said earlier, though, Lou.
What do you reckon's worth? About 3 goals. There's a free kick. It'll go to Hawthorn. Coleman against Kennedy. So Coleman, we've got Ironmonger sitting on the bench, usually the #1 ruckman. Flying high that time. Oh, there was a good mark to Chris Mew. And of course, Chris Mew has been back for the last, 3 weeks. But a player that was badly knocked about by injury, and there's no doubt about this fellow when he fires, one of the best defenders in the business. The ball kicked up there to Brereton and Dunstall. Brereton's trying to claim this mark, and the umpire said, play, that's a push in the back to right. Against Platinum, Wright takes the free kick down there in the back pocket. A quick hand pass to Bolton. Another one over to Murphy. Murphy gives it to Bolton again. This fella's a racehorse. He'll go now for a bit of a trot. Look at him go. He's run about 55 metres there, and the umpire's followed him. Forgot about bouncing altogether. I think that was pretty obvious.
It's one of the problems with being real quick. I've never had it myself.
Me either, Bob. They cover the distance before they can think to bounce the ball. Of course, the free kick will go to Kennedy out there in the centre of the ground. He's gone for the long kick to try and find Brown, as well smothered there, and there's a good mark to Coleman. Not doing a bad job on the ruck either.
Carlton leading by 23 points at the MCG, as Browning goes long out towards Morwood. Right on the boundary line, over the head of Russell Morris to the centre wing position. That's really into no man's territory there. Picked up by Danaher, gets offloaded by Eade. Over the top, Loveridge. Yes, a mark. No mark. Didn't pay it, umpire Peter Cameron.
Must have been touched off the boot.
And Richard Loveridge asking the same question. Why not?
He certainly marked it.
Looked like a mark from here, I must admit. Let's take a look at it again. There was a touch there. Or did he have... well, nobody else grabbed it there. Right. Plenty of room to move after a good shepherd from Bolton. Right down to half forward. Might be in the back to Morris. No, Lester Smith picks it up and gets it over towards Dippy Domenico and turn on to Langford. Langford to centre wing. Clapp. Haven't seen much of him so far. The hand pass over the top to Loveridge. Can he handle it? Got plenty of room now. Short pass. Buckenara, one of Hawthorn's best in the opening term. Not with kicks like that. They always let you down. Kennedy back to Robertson, who fumbles. Let's Hawk in. Right. Now what's Langford doing up there? We asked the question, where's Capper? He's on his own. Langford will have to get back there pretty quickly.
That's why Langford was giving away a deliberate 15 metres there.
And Capper almost got that one. Deere will be content to race it through from behind. So 1 point to the Swans, takes their tally to 1-5, and they trail Hawthorn by 28 points.
Which I think Stevie Wright, as we watch the replay of Capper coming across, I think Stevie Wright missed that Capper was on his own. That's why Langford deliberately gave away the 15 metres. He knew that Capper was clear.
Ball back into play. That's a long kick again from Langford. Up towards Dippy Domenico. Is that a mark? Well, they didn't pay Loveridge's before. They shouldn't pay that one. So a bounce on centre wing. 28 minutes into the term. It's been a good one with the breeze for Hawthorn. Knocked down by Coleman, but intercepting for the Hawks is Tuck. Up to Brereton, or Mr. Sitter. Looking for a free kick. Could have almost got one there too. Hand pass. Well, he tries to effect one. Now gets it back to Tuck. From the edge of the square. Buckenara sees it go right over his head and through for another behind. The Hawthorn taking their tally now to 6 goals, 4. They lead the Swans 1-5. 11 plays 40. We're in time on.
28.5 minutes gone. Swans dragged the ball around towards that wing position. Oh, Healy and D.P. Domenico went for that, but the umpire's paying it to D.P. Domenico. Now he's called play on. He goes for the long kick, looking there for Curran coming across to meet it, but slipped and the ball is out of bounds. But it's only about 10 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. And they've certainly dominated this first quarter. There's no doubt about that. This is the worst we've seen the Swans start for a long time, Bub.
They have steadied a little bit, Lou, but Hawthorn, well, we know how good Hawthorn are when they're firing. As the siren sounds, and at quarter time.
At quarter time, we see Hawthorn.
Can they make up the leeway? Knocked down by Deere, knock on by Russo, up to Kennedy. Loses out to Bernard Toohey, but he's caught with the ball. And umpire Peter Cameron will bounce it on the firmer part of the ground, the centre square area, or part of it. He's covered during the deluge during the week. Coleman and Deere. Coleman's starting to do a little bit better there. Healy, short kick out of the centre. Morris offloads Danaher. Bolton, Hawk, Morwood for goal number 2 to the Swans, or has he gone for Kappa? Langford at the back knocks it through for 1 point.
No, I think it was a missed kick. I think he was going for goal.
I reckon he was going for goals.
He should have anyway.
Yeah. But there's no doubt about Langford, Pete. He knows how to play at fullback. He's an old style fullback. He will never attempt to mark the ball, and he plays it from the side all the time, Bob.
Yes, but he's still aggressive. He's prepared to go up the ground when he's got his player covered.
That's right.
Morwood over the top takes the grab for the Swans. Healy. Loose checking there from Hawthorn. Out towards the pocket. Kappa sees the ball dribble over the boundary line in front of he and also Chris Langford. Boundary throw in about 35 metres from goal. Won by Deer. 2 Shepherds there and no one picks it up. Finally it's left to Todd, thrown out of the pack. Not seen by the umpire. Stevie Wright has the first grab on it. Picked up by Loveridge. Onto Tuck. Gets around right.
It's like Tuck of old today, Pete.
Yeah, he's playing a great game.
Now, which way is it going to bounce? Or Coleman goes for the big knock on. It's as long as some of his kicks. Down towards Tui. Gets the hand pass to Hawk, but he was covered. Picked up by Wright again. Long hand pass to Bolton. Bolton gets offloaded by Ayres, but it's on to Williams. Lovely tackle, Loveridge. Loose ball for Dippy Domenico to pick up. Onto Ayres. Long hand ball. Back over the top to Morris. Morris from half-back gets Hawthorn out of danger.
Good play on the part of Hawthorn's defence then. Back it goes down towards Carroll. Pushed on again by Curran over to Platt and a high kick. Doesn't cover much distance down towards the full forward. Oh, great mark to Curran. What a ripper. Oh, God, what a mark that was.
It's a lovely mark, looking the wrong way, and a lovely tap on there to Platten to allow him to put the ball forward. And here we see Curran running the wrong way, and beautiful mark. A real danger down there. He's already kicked 2.
Got a chance for 3 from about 30 metres out, directly in front. And there it is. That's their 7th goal. They go on to 7 goals, 446. Looking mighty good. To 1 goal, 6-12, and this is the worst start we've seen the Swans. That interchange bench doesn't look too happy there for the Swans, and I don't blame them either. Watch this mark again, Bob.
I'd certainly have Carter on Curran rather than Roberts, as we said early in the game. Well, that looks the way it is now.
Well, Carter's gone out to pick up Curran. That's the first time I've seen Carter play with his socks down too. So he's taking it pretty seriously. Knocked out by Coleman the second time, down towards centre half forward. Well covered that time. Oh, he went over the ball, Robertson. Bugh tries to cover it, knocks out the DP at a minute ago. That was a grubber. Comes back to Buckenara. Grab, didn't have the ball. He'll get a free kick for sure. Buckenara, in my opinion, and Tuck would be the 2 best players on the ground, Bob.
Played excellent game. So too Loveridge, DP at a minute ago.
Well, we've got Buckenara, short of centre field, goes wide to the flank. Chance for Big Deer to mark. Carroll got up high, couldn't hold the mark. Backing up well as Coleman doing very well around the ground. A hand pass from Bolton back to Williams. Allen comes to right on his own. Gets away from Deer. Gets around Curran. Sends the ball out to the half-forward line looking for Redmond. He's well covered by Lester Smith. That was a good tackle. Lester Smith goes in hard. And the umpire will ball up just about on the 50-metre mark on the Swans attacking zone.
You can see that Hawthorn are G'd up for this one, Lou, the way they're tackling.
Dennis Carroll
very aggressive with their tackling. Well, I think he came down after going for that last mark, Pete. He came down very awkwardly.
Just over 4 minutes gone. Ball back now to Loveridge. Couldn't get out of that pack, and the umpire said it's holding the ball. No, it's a free kick to in the back. So Loveridge to take the free kick at half-back. Goes right across to the centre of the ground, just about to the edge of the square. And there's Coleman. I think Coleman's doing a very good job on the ruck, just the same.
He is now picked up by Gerard Healy up the half-forward for the Swans. The ball knocked down. Almost picked up by Mew, but the umpire's given a free kick to Hawthorn. It'll go to Chris Mew in the back, and he'll get a 15-metre penalty as well. Mew's starting to come into a bit of form too. Not with a kick like that, though. Drops well short and picked up by Browning. He fumbles, taps the ball through. Past Platten, Loveridge, best rover on the ground so far. Awkward kick. Tui does it well in front of Kennedy. Awkward kick again. Down to Dippy Domenico on his own. If he gets the bounce, he does. Short pass, inboard to Loveridge. Hawks there with him. Backing up well as Russo. Russo to Robertson. Back to the same player. short pass, too long for Rodney Eade. Bolton, Eade, over the top. Chance for the Swans as the ball hits the deck again to be picked up by Stevie Wright. He gets offloaded. That might have almost been too high, but it's picked up by Flatton for Hawthorn. A short pass, tries to find Brereton or Curran. Neither's there. Socket away by Coleman. Flatton again. Some soccer tactics, gets it back.
In a movie about Melbourne's teenagers, in a movie that's tough, that's touching, that feels the beat. For the first time on television, Vince Colosimo and Secret Thornton. The music and drama that is Street Hero.
Hawthorn lead by 40 points. That was Michael Tuck's first goal. We've been playing 6.5 minutes into the second quarter. Trying to knock off early. Knocked away by Coleman, as we mentioned, doing better in the ruck now against Deere. Morris, the chance to get through. Might have got one too high. Umpire Rowan Soares says no, it will be a bounce at centre field.
Ball up at centre field, into the quarter by just on 7 minutes. 40 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. They're killing the Swans up to this stage of the match, but they've got the reputation recently of fading in the second half. Let's see that we'll have to wait and see whether they can do that again today. Coming in to meet it now is Danaher, goes over the line, got a bit of a tap on from Mew, and the ball is out of bounds. So it's out of bounds about 20 metres around from the Sydney Swans goal. They're finding it hard to score today, and Langford's got Kappa pretty well covered up to this stage of the match. Edmund grabs that one, but goes down. Ayres has got him there in a stranglehold, but the umpires decided to ball it up in that forward pocket position. Still about 20 metres out from the Sydney Swans goal. Kappa and Langford, walk that time by Kappa. Danaher trying to kick it off the ground, but it'll throw in right against the point post. Ball back into play again, but the back is Kappa. Tapped it down, picked up by Mitchell, a snap at goal, but it's not their day today, and it goes through for a point. So the Sydney Swans move on to 1 goal, 7-13 points to Hawthorn 8-4-52, and there's no doubt about it, Hawthorn looking the better side by a mile so far. Waiting on Langford. Kept Kappa goalless so far. Kickless too, as we see. He'd take that mark in the back pocket. Drives it long, looking for deep. Pietamenago's got the sit on that little Murphy. Murphy goes down. We see Williams having a go. That could be a 15-metre penalty against him. Shook Murphy up a bit too. He's still limping as the ball goes over the Hawthorn half-forward line. And there's a mark to Brereton. Mark Roberts is saying, I touched that first, but the umpire not having a bar of that now.
Should have been punching it away, Lou, not trying to mark it.
That's right.
We do have his hands.
I don't think he even touched it.
No, mark all the way.
I'll go along with that. From about 40 metres out, the kick by Brereton on its way, and that's another good one, so the Hawks are really running hot.
Inside this compact new video camera is a full-size VHS recorder. National call it the VHS movie. It even plays pre-recorded tapes. The VHS movie. Easy movies.
From National.
Well, I'm not going to put Peter in charge of the America's Cup crew when he said the breeze was favouring the end that Hawthorn would kick with the first quarter, because that
Oh,
kick
it is favouring that end, Lou.
Do you reckon?
No doubt.
Well, not the way Brereton kicked that last, but it must have gone 55, 60 metres.
It was a good kick, certainly.
They'll wait now for the umpire to ball it up on the centre wing position, but the Hawks are well on top of the Sydney Swans, 9-4 to 1-7. Another scrimmage device there. The ball thrown at that time by Morwood. Driven up there by Healy. Punched away by Lester Smith. Knocked on by Robertson. Pushed on again by Russo. Platt tries to get up, but smothered now by Healy. Tapped on again by Russo. And it's coming out of the pack now with a hand pass. A dangerous one was Edmund over to Bolt. Oh, little Mitchell didn't have any chance there. Russo gets a bad hand pass. A chance now for Williams to pick it up over to Healy. This could be a goal. Yes, it's a goal, and a badly needed one. Boy, did they need that one. 2 goals, 7-19. Sydney to Hawthorn, 9-4-58. Into this second quarter by 10, just on 10.5 minutes.
That might be just the boost the Swans need, because it really came from a mistaken hand pass by Peter Russo. Probably the first mistake that Russo has made today in his comeback game. He's played an excellent game, but that time a poor hand pass and a good goal to Gerard Healy.
39 points the difference, still in favour of Hawthorn. Healy's first goal, and the Swans second, as Bob said, a badly needed one. Buckenara from centre field hooks it high towards right half forward flank, and the mark taken by Dunstall.
It's got Brereton.
Brereton in the pocket, should mark it, and does. Amid attention from Carter. Now, will he get a 15-metre penalty? I don't think so.
Good play by Loveridge there. He came straight in to make sure that Brereton didn't get too upset about things there. And we watch on replay, there's Brereton getting a bit of attention from Carter, and the Loveridge comes in to make sure that Brereton didn't get too upset.
Well, not an impossible angle, but nonetheless a very difficult one. Brereton right on the boundary line. It'd be an excellent kick to score one from there. That'll go pretty close, I tell you what, though. Oh, it's a goal. He's dobbed it. So Brereton second, and he's coming back to a little bit of form today. 2-7 to 10-4.
Not to mention a couple of his teammates, Pete.
Well, I didn't see them last week, Bob, but they looked on the scoreboard pretty woeful.
And as we said before the game, though, what a vital player Brereton is to this lineup.
He had to beat the VFL Tribunal to be here today. He was booked by a goal umpire on a striking charge.
And Sandy Roberts would have called that one check side.
Back into the centre, 10-4 to 2-7. Brereton's second goal. The game they play in China, Lou, very big on it. Tui. Hawk onto Healy, who kicked the Swans' last goal. Langford in front. Kappa, no mark.
Hang out. I think it might have been a mark,
He was up there. He was up there with all the others.
He came down with it, certainly. And Morris is hurt.
I think he got the knee.
Yeah, right in the back. He's waving the trainers away.
On replay now. And there's Kappa up.
Oh, yes. Yes,
he was up with them.
He was the mark. So Kappa. I stand corrected too, Bob. I said he's only had, or he hasn't had a kick, but he's had one so far. That'll be his first goal. Yes.
We've seen a whole lot of champions in Australia.
From NEC comes a video recorder with features that lead the way. Dual audio heads ensure the highest quality hi-fi stereo sound. Two-speed recording means 8 hours from one 4-hour tape. And NEC's 4 tape heads give you perfect slow motion and freeze.
Compare NEC's range at your retailer. Feature for feature, I reckon NEC's miles ahead.
Australia's champion in video too.
It's been like a public library here, but the Swans fans finding voice at the moment. Holden onto Coleman. Holden again. Platten dives on top of it. Hawk tries to get it into the open spaces. Hawk again. Picked up by Mitchell. To the pocket. Kappa and Langford. Through for a point, no out of bounds. Boundary throw in the Swans' left forward pocket.
And the scoreboard, 3-7-25, Sydney to Hawthorn, 10-4-64, just on the 14-minute mark of the second quarter. Ball out of bounds in the forward pocket for the Swans. Kappa flies high, knocks the ball down. Now and there for Sydney, knocked out by Mew. Grabbed beautifully by Lester Smith. Lester Smith's kick is a long one back to the centre of the ground. Actually, it's over the centre. Danaher comes in. He's grabbed by Curran, loses it. Down he goes. Curran's still got a grip of him. Comes out to Carter, he smothers it, and the umpire will ball it up at centre half forward for Hawthorn.
Danaher down in defence, Lou, and Carroll I think has gone to centre half forward.
Ball up round about the centre half forward position for Hawthorn, knocked out by Coleman. Oh, Carter missed that one, completely smothered by Roberts. They stack up there, and this will be a ball up right on the point of the square. Still on Hawthorn's attacking zone. It's about 60 metres out from their goal. Swans looking a little bit better this last 10 minutes. They're 25 points to 64.
Carlton 81, leading Collingwood 48.
It's bad for the Magpies. Tuck goes for a hand pass. It's a good one to Weed. He's got a chance to score. He's dropped it short, looking for Dunstall. Oh, great mark to Bertie DiPiero a minute ago. Played a slashing game here today, Bertie.
He certainly has, and he covers some territory. The wingman these days, I think with the possible exception of little Dwyer at Fitzroy, he plays on the wing, and there's DiPiero coming across, actually in front of Dunstall. Dunstall would have marked it anyway, I'm sure, and DiPiero only 15 metres out.
Well, he shouldn't miss this one, putting their 11th goal on the board. There it is on its way, and that's another goal, so they move on to 11 goals for 70 to the Sydney Swans, 3 goals, 7-25. And been a great player for Hawthorn, Bertie DiPierdomenico, and a favourite with the crowd, particularly the Hawthorn people, but not the Swans so much.
Well, I do know we've been told just before the game, Lou, that there was a rugby supporter who just fancies DiPierdomenico, and he's seeing his first game today because of DiPierdomenico.
Well, he's drawn a couple of people in today, but there's a big crowd, round about the 40,000 mark. Knocked out by Russo. He's done a darn good job too. Danaher went without the ball. And of course, that's Tui at the bottom of the pack, and the umpire will ball it up still down towards the Hawthorn centre-half forward position. They're playing well on top of the Sydney Swans, but we've got to wait for that second half because they have fighted the last few weeks, the Hawks. But they don't look like doing that at the moment. Platten flew high, couldn't hold the mark. Picked up by Kennett. They go deep into attack again. As a go punched out by Roberts. Mark Roberts goes after it again. Picks it up nicely for a big fellow. His kicker's not so good. It's going straight for the boundary line, but Buckenara's got a chance to grab it before it does. Puts it back into play. No, I don't think that was out.
Don't think either.
I don't reckon that was out. You
he
know
was
that?
out.
I thought that was still back, and you watch that again now.
Watch it again now. There's the line.
It's not out of bounds. Look, it's still back in play.
I think you're right, Luke.
I reckon I am. So it's Bolton trying to get a quick hand pass. Not a very good one. Coming in to meet it now is Tui, but they're under pressure all the time as Wright grabs it out there at half forward. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to lose this for sure. He did. In goes Mew. They're playing determined football. And they're certainly out to make amends for their last the last couple of bad games, Pete.
No one running with Stevie right there, Lou, and he tried to do just a little bit too much.
Deer over the top tries to find Loveridge, couldn't do so. Wright keeps it in play. Buckenara is out of bounds again.
He's out that time.
Yeah, I don't dispute that one. Buckenara, one of Hawthorn's best today.
But quite a few good players here today, just the same.
Ironmonger contesting his first knockout. Russo through the legs of Holden, picked up by Wright. Dispossessed. Loveridge. Robertson fumbles. Tries to get it back to Loveridge. He's well shepherded by DiPierdomenico on to Kennedy. Back to Russo. Brereton in front. Knocked away by Coleman. Two number 23s doing battle. Williams to Holden. Over the top. Hawks should take it if he gets a bounce. Kennedy right there with him. Could be a free kick to the Swans. It will be.
Well, they brought Ironmonger on the ground and playing the ruck, and they put Coleman under
Tuck in trouble.
That's right.
Tuck in trouble.
And DiPierdomenico as well.
What happened there?
They collided. The two of them collided.
Hawks kick in the pocket. Well, Kappa's got the mark and goal.
There's a change in the air. TAA, the airline that was born to serve the needs of all Australians, has now become the airline all Australians can proudly call their own.
Come on and fly, Australia.
Australian Airlines.
Come on and fly.
Kappa's second goal, and the Swans playing a lot better football now. 31 plays 70. Deer doesn't get the bounce, neither does Ironmonger. He missed with that shot. Now he goes at it again. Robertson, who fumbled badly before. Good shepherd by Morris. Up to half forward. Brereton marks left half forward flank.
Brereton with the ball out there at half forward. A good 65 metres out from goal. Walks and gets around Coleman quite easily. Goes for the long kick up there towards the full forward position. Down goes Kennedy. The ball pushed out by Kennedy. Picked up by Russo. Over to Platten. Platten gives a hand pass to Loveridge. They're working well together. Well intercepted by Healy. Another hand pass comes out to Ian Roberts. He's grabbed but still gets the ball away. Going after it now is Holden. A hand pass over to Tui. The Swans looking a lot better, but that was a bad kick. Carroll got right under that. There's a chance for Big Deer right on the boundary line. That's a shocking kick, but it's okay. Luck's a fortune. It goes into the hands of Platten. Over to Bertie DiPierdomenico. Balked around Coleman. Gets a long kick up there towards Curran. Ball pushed out. There's Browder for another goal. There was a bit of bad luck, which was knocked out by Danaher right into his hands. So it's 12 goals for 76. Hawthorn looking $1 million to Sydney. 4 goals, 731.
In one of those cases, though, what else could Danaher do? He had to try and punch the ball away. And there is Danaher. now, if he looked at it on replay, he'd probably say to himself, well, why didn't I try to mark it? But you can't afford to do that down there in defence. And it went straight to Brereton.
3 goals to Brereton. Playing a great game today, but he's got plenty of mates. Knocked out by Deere, grabbed by Bolt, but a bad fumble, picked up by Wright. A hand pass coming out to Williams, over to Hawk. He's in trouble. Over it goes now to Murphy. Back to Healy. They're taking a while to get it down to the ground. Holden went without the ball. Too many times they're handling the ball too much instead of going for the goals. The Sydney Swans, and the umpire will ball it up.
They are definitely looking better though, Lou. They're starting to run a bit more, and they're getting a bit of teamwork going into their game.
So it'll be on the 50-metre mark in their attacking zone of ball up. 21 minutes gone of this second quarter. And Hawthorn still looking the superior side as it comes down to Williams. Ducked his head and holding the ball against him. Umpire paid the advantage. Will has run now. He's going to bring it back, and Ayers will take that free kick at half back. So into this quarter by 21.5 minutes. That's the second. 12 goals, 476. Hawthorn to the Sydney Swans, 4-7-31.
Hawthorn have kicked 6 straight this quarter. Ayers goes for the hand pass. Now it's on to Robertson. Straight to Ironmonger though, and he doesn't drop marks like that. Ironmonger short of centre field. Plays on, gets around Curran, on to Carroll. Oh, Curran decked by Ironmonger behind the play.
That's foolish. When you've got the ball going your way and you need to score, that's ridiculous.
At best, it was a heavy shepherd.
Well, you call that brute force and stupidity, don't you, really?
Mark taken by Loveridge, one of Hawthorn's best players. The high ball into the square. Over the top, Buckenara can't take it. Too many up, none down. Kennedy, goal! Well, Kennedy swooped on it from wide. 3 Hawthorn players flew.
Well, there's the result, Pete. You just cannot afford to give away the ball when you've got possession, and the Swans had possession. It's on replay now. We see Loveridge put the ball forward. Buckenara up high from behind. Dunstall in front. Kennedy doing the roving. And Kennedy has really come back with a vengeance today.
Certainly has.
Cole back at centre-half back. Coleman now to centre-half forward.
Hawthorn's 13th goal, their 7th straight in this quarter, 13-4 to 4-7.
Tommy Hafey going berserk. He's made 4 changes today.
Swans swing into attack. Only to see Morris take the mark at centre-half back to Lester Smith. Lester Smith wobbly punt kick out towards the right half forward flank or centre wing. Doesn't quite get that far. 3 Swans are there. It's left to the skipper, Dennis Carroll. Carroll from left centre wing. Long pass. Looking for Kappa. Boundary line might beat him. No, he's kept it in play.
And that's Burley's play by Eade. It was an act by Kappa, but a very ticky touch would, but there was no need to just come in. Rodney Eade had no need to come in, and he could square up. 2 goals coming from sheer foolishness.
So Jim Edmonds, who started brilliantly in the first quarter by taking 3 marks.
He did absolutely nothing really, but he should have stopped. 93 to 55 at the MCG, Pete.
Carlton doing it well. And that, I think he squeezed that one in, Jim Edmond. He has. It's a goal.
I've just got till the alarm goes off to tell you about this terrific new Nestle clock radio. If you want a great-looking clock radio that's easy to use, you get it from National. From National.
Tonight, there's top comedy on 7 when Frank gets up to more trouble than you thought possible. One disaster follows another, and some mothers do have them at 7:30. While at 8, the laughter continues on Are You Being Served? Comedy tonight on 7.
And the result, a goal.
Jimmy Edmonds' first goal, the Swans' 5th, 82, plays 37. Approaching the time-on period of the second quarter. 45 seconds from it. Ironmonger and Deere. Deere wins that one, tries to get it to Russo, but it's his opponent Williams who wins out. Good tackle by Tuck. Mitchell tackled well by Deere. No one making any headway there. And we'll see a bounce still at the centre circle.
Hawthorn have tackled a lot better than the Swans, Lou.
Certainly have, Bob. 82 plays 37. That's a difference of, 35 points. The ball knocked out now towards Buckenara. Couldn't grab that one. Good play on the part of Murphy. Couldn't get out of the pack. Domenico over to Buckenara. Well intercepted by Toohey. I must agree with Bob. They're showing a little bit more go about their play now, the Swans, as the ball goes towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds.
On the full.
On the full, it'll be a penalty free kick to go to Hawthorn down there to Rod Lester Smith. Now it'll go across to Mew. So Mew's out there on that half-back line. 5-7 to 13-4. Favour of Hawthorn. The pack fly. The umpires found a free kick. It'll go to Kennedy.
Paid the mark, I think.
No, it paid the mark. It didn't seem to he held it long enough to me.
Yeah, I thought so, Luke.
You did. All right. Short pass or a short kick. Brereton got one hand just about to it. In goes the big fellow Hindmung, when the ball is eventually kicked off the ground and out of bounds. So it's out of bounds about 30 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. And they're looking good. 13.482 to the Sydney Swans 5.737. Just on the 26-minute mark of the second quarter. Loveridge in a crackerjack game over to Russo. Not doing too badly for another goal just about. Yes, good play on the part of the two little men. 14.486. Hawthorn to Sydney looking pretty sick now. 5 goals, 7.37.
So Russo's really done the job required of him by Hawthorn. Not only has he diminished the brilliance of Greg Williams, he has won numerous kicks himself. He's been in the right place, made one mistake during the day, which cost a goal. And you could say that one might make up for it.
Well, if Hawthorn do fade a bit in that second half, they're still a long way in front. They'd have to really go down the drain to lose this match, Bob, the way they're playing.
There's about 38,000 people here hoping for it, Lou.
There we see going through as Murphy went without the ball. Platten tried to get it out, but a fumble. Russo's on the bottom of the pack. He's done, as Bob said before, he's been a great player, and he's had Williams well covered. Plus the fact, as you said, Bob, he's become an attacking player as well. So it'll be a ball up at centre field as we approach the 27-minute mark of this second quarter. There was a clash there as Buckenauer tapped it out over to, comes back to Bolt. The fresh air shot that time by Mitchell. Once again, it's Russo. It was contagious, that fresh air biz, because Russo's kick wasn't too good. Back to Holden. Pushed on by Maud over to Coleman. A hurried kick up there towards Kappa. And Langford, he's got him well covered right. Tries to get it out to Kappa again. He smothers it, but well taken away by Hawthorn's Robertson and through for 1 point. They certainly go after this guy. He doesn't get much latitude when he's playing at full forward, just the same.
You can't afford to give good players latitude, Luke.
Right. Short pass to Tuck from Ayres. Tuck drops it short. It'll be okay. And the mark taken here by Chris Mew. Chris Mew gets it out to the wing position. Kennedy juggling the ball there. I think he might pay that mark. It's going to be a throw-in. A throw-in and out of bounds. So it's a throw-in from the centre wing position. Kennedy against Hindmunger. Knocked out by Hindmunger to Williams. A beautiful hand pass out to Bolt. Shows plenty of pace as he drives the ball back up there towards the forward pocket. Edmund in front. Pushed on over by Wright, but he mistimed that one. Picked up by Robertson. Put it out of bounds on the full. So this gives the Swans a chance to go deep into attack as we see the ball picked up here by Morwood on the boundary line. He's about 60 metres out from goal. Well, Kappa has kicked 2 goals so far, but he's been pretty well covered by Langford. Langford keep. Oh, golly, that's bad play.
Good play by Morris, though, to keep at him.
Oh, there's a free kick to Hawthorn. It'll go to Kennedy down there on that centre wing position.
John Kennedy, right centre wing. Long kick to half forward. Tries to find Buckenauer, and he's got him right on the boundary line. Amid some attention from Craig Holden. Holden not letting him get clear.
And that shouldn't be 15 metres, though. Surely you just can't let him jump up and run on.
One would think so. Anyway, he's got a 15-metre penalty. Bolton thought about standing on the mark, then Buckenauer goes long. There's a free kick there, going the Swans' way. The recipient will be Danaher. Danaher from the goal square, out wide, looking for Paul Hawke, and he's got him. Peter Medico's just about got him, but he still gets his kick in. The pass on to Edmund. Lester Smith right on his hammer. Edmund looking for the free kick. Finally, no, he doesn't come out with the ball.
Surely he was being held.
Lester Smith is the man to come out with the ball. Short pass. Platten right on the edge of the square. Mitchell not letting him get clear 1 inch. Kennedy.
Quite a good game today, Bob. Kennedy.
Play on is the call. On to Eade. Oh, that's a shock. Healy says thank you. Kappa and Langford. Edmund the chance. Lester Smith backs up. Ayres over the top, straight to Stevie Wright. Looks for a free kick. Will he get one? Surely. Wright again. Williams. Snapshot with the right foot as a goal. They had to get it there, sure. And they finally break through. Williams is first, the Swans 6th, 6-8 to 14-4.
I think we saw possible free kicks to Edwin, Wright. In fact, a couple of could have gone to Wright. and they deserved the resultant goal out of that one, and Stevie Wright comes in now. There, and now the hand pass forward. Good play by Wright, a goal to Greg Williams.
44 points the difference into this second quarter by just on 31 minutes. In favour of Hawthorn. Healy gets the ball away again. Over it comes to Hawks. Smothered that pretty well over to Coleman. It was too long. This gives Morris a chance to clear the ball back towards the centre of the ground. Tui went for that one. Couldn't grab the mark. Kicked off the ground by Carroll. Backs up well. He'll go for the long kick like he usually does. Looking for Kappa. Kappa flies. Couldn't get that. Was a go for Morwood. He fumbled the ball. He's got a chance. Well played by Ayres. In goes Kappa again. They smother him there. Muse got him well covered, and Ayres is there too. And the umpire will ball it up about 10 metres out from the Sydney Swans goal. Siren due to go and tick the clock, and they badly need one before half-time. Just over 30. There's the siren to end the second quarter, and we see Hawthorn in a very good position.
And that allows Sambrella clear, and what a spectacular leap by Nicky Winmar.
Morton goes to the outer side, centre wing. Rogers stands his ground. Big leap there by O'Connell. David O'Connell has pulled down a spectacular mark.
Legally, in the opinion of the umpire, the West Perth grandstand disagrees. Ray, that's a very good mark.
Harding and Rogers both missed it. Harding comes through, gets the kick away down towards the pocket, and Munn's great mark over Biahaja.
Bare left puts the ball into the forward line. Oh,
good
yes!
mark.
Grand mark to Thornton. Over the top he went.
Comes infield now, looking for Neesham from behind Cormac. Is that mark paid?
Oh, great
I
mark.
think it is.
Great mark, son. Great mark.
He kick at hand passes. This man Panizza's got it now. Panizza drives along the grandstand wing. Derek Kickett is there. Brilliant mark, Derek Kickett.
It's very hard to know what's high and
Well,
low.
he certainly wasn't grabbed.
No.
I think in that... Oh, that's a great mark from Alaxis. Jim Buckley, who didn't come onto the ground until the latter stages of this quarter, and that's a good kick from the big fella too.
Oh, the mark of the year.
You see Red when they tap down towards Hart. Been a good player, Hart. Always performs consistently.
And now to Carl Delina. He's got pace, Delina. Kicks forward, looking up platform. That's a great mark there with David Walker.
They can't get it through their half-forward line at the moment. Johnson, one-handed. Oh, what a mark! Gets round onto that left leg, puts it up for Dietrich. He's going to get a leap out of Holmes. Oh, the bulk of Dietrich.
Great players combined. Dermott's on his left foot, puts it in long. Up goes Gibbs, he's there. That's a good mark across Gibbs.
Smith, Darrington, off goes Wilmot again. Bell couldn't get there. Another mark.
In turn to Dickinson. Dickinson's kick's very high. Oh, great mark, Philip Ward.
Oh, what a turnaround. The kick out from West Adelaide sees Dwayne Russell go up. What a brilliant mark!
The breeze has a lot to do with it. With whatever there is, magnificent mark to McKeon.
Keel from centre field, puts the Saints into attack. Barker!
Kicks the ball long towards centre half forward. The players set themselves.
Christensen looks for Ablett. Ablett up a great one-hander.
He's been quiet towards the centre of the... Oh, what a mark.
A magnificent mark taken by Peter Dean.
Looking real hot stuff at the moment. McClure in front, Langford at the back. Oh, what a mark to Bradley. Great move.
And the little winger fires at the goals. Capper at the back, got a chance. He's got it. Oh, there was a mark and a half. But he gets a long kick up there towards centre half forward. Oh, great mark to Roger Merritt.
From the centre of the ground, bring it towards... Oh, Ablett! What a mark by Gary Ablett.
You won't say, you will not say.
Don't start reading stuff into what I say.
I know what you mean.
Oh!
Hawthorn kicking to the left in this term. That's the end, as we see it, favoured by the breeze. Knocked away by Ironmonger. Loveridge can't get clear. Good tackle from Wright. Picked up by Bolton for the Swans. Out wide to centre wing. Knocked away by Holden. Robertson, not a good hand pass. Russo ridden into the ground. A play on call. Holden does to right half forward flank. Lester Smith got a hand to it. Coleman. That's going pretty close. And it will be dribbled through.
In the back feet.
Pushing the back to...
so no score.
To Ayres.
goes long. Last line of defence in front is Deer, knocked away by Ironmonger. Coleman again. Similar kick. That's a little bit closer. Oh, hit the post.
Had the right bounce.
Oh, so it did. And unfortunately for the Swans, only 1 point added, so 6-9 their total. Hawthorn leading by 43 points.
It's been a good try for the Swans today, Coleman, Bob.
Oh, he's done a great job for them, Lou. He's at centre-half forward in this half, and he's got the first 2 kicks for that go forward for the Swans.
Might get the first 3, no. Still not. And the rides ears into the ground. And again, finally picked up by Dippy Domenico. Back to Lester Smith. Lovely smother by Edmund. Paddles it further forward. Real chance for the Swans here to score. Edmund, will he give it to Mitchell? He's just about caught with the ball. Held it for a fortnight. But he got a free kick. A high tackle.
On the shoulder, Pete.
And Edmund started well at the first term. There's a chance to bring up the first goal in the third. He's kicked 1 so far. On the 50-metre line. In front of goal for Kappa. He's good enough. And off the hands of the pack. Hawthorn defenders will be content, will they, to take it over the line. Lovely thought should have. Caught. And this time it's punched through for 1 point. So 2 points to the Swans in this third term.
And the difference now, 42 points. So they're still a long way down the drain, the Sydney Swans. Into this third quarter by just over 2 minutes. Interesting to see whether the Hawks have a fight out like they have the last 2 weeks, but they're looking still pretty strong as the ball comes back to Williams. A good hand pass. Healy with a long kick up there to cut. Now it falls short. And Ayres had no trouble getting in front of Mitchell that time to take a good mark in defence. Goes across goal. It's dangerous, but it's safe this time because Muse marked it. A good hand pass. Coming over to length, but a short one there to eat on his own. He drives the ball long. Looking there for Buckenham, and he's grabbed it. Had a great first quarter. Quick hand pass. Back to Langford again. Coming right round the wing over to Brown. Got under that Carroll, had him well covered, but Platt backs up well. A hand pass to Loveridge. Loveridge taps the ball on, and it's out of bounds. They cooperate pretty well together, those two, Platt and Loveridge, Bob.
Yes, they're developing into an excellent duo, Lou. And there's Langford. He came right down the ground of the wing. He's prepared to back his judgment. A little bit similar to David Dench in that regard.
Loveridge again. Williams gets a hand pass, but the umpire will ball it up.
I want to kick a goal like Rod Carter, Bob.
Well, that was one of the most exciting things of that one-sided match a fortnight ago here when they played Melbourne. Rod Carter kicking his first goal.
I would have thought Melbourne would win the next 2.
That's right. There we see Brereton grab the feeling for a free kick, but the umpire said play on us 2. He crashes his way through the pack. Out there looking for Coleman, knocked away by Ayres. Going after it now as Morris hooks the ball back towards the Hawthorn half-forward line. Another crash, they all fall to the ground, and once again the umpire will ball it up on the 50-metre line in Hawthorn's attacking zone. So it's still 14-488 Hawthorn to the Sydney Swans 6-10-46. Well, there's the attendance. That's bigger than the Carlton one, Bob. 39,763. A good crowd here today. Right
out.
Up it goes now. Knocked away by Loveridge. Over to Platt. Back to Brereton. Another crash up. We're not getting much progress out there at the moment. The umpire said it'll be a throw-in from that half-forward flank. Still on the 50-metre line. So 4.5 minutes gone at this third quarter. And the difference still 42 points in favour of Hawthorn.
No goals scored so far in the third term. Ironmonger's hand pass is smothered. No one making any headway down there. And umpire Peter Cameron has no other option but to bounce it inside Hawthorn's 50-metre line.
Well, it's been held up in that position for about 60, 70 seconds now, Pete.
Plenty of players around the ball. Ironmonger thumps it away, but it's picked up by Brereton. A snapshot at goal in the square is Dunstall. And one of them got the mark. I think it's Dunstall. He'll be on a pretty fair angle. Umpire Peter Cameron bringing him right around as we watch that in replay. Dippy Domenico coming in.
And Dunstall's all the way.
And Dunstall has already kicked, what's he got, Bob? 1?
Yes, Pete.
That makes it 2 as we see it. The goal umpire concurs, and Dunstall puts through his second goal of the afternoon, the first of the third quarter.
This is the engine. Nissan's newest engine. 3-litre. 6-cylinder, fuel injected. This is the car.
All new Nissan Skyline. Now, come and be the driver. Drive the pure performance of car and engine. Skyline sedans, sports wagons, very competitively priced.
Come alive, come and drive. Nissan know-how.
Dunstall's second goal, making the difference 48 points. Ironmonger down to Tuck. Tuck up towards the left half-forward flank. Carroll racing out forward, picks it up beautifully. Good tackle, though, by Platten, but he affects the hand pass to Ian Roberts. Just kick right half-forward flank. Past Dippia Domenico, but it's picked up by his teammate Lester Smith. 3 Hawks are there. Robertson on to Dippia Domenico. A balk. This way, that way, in trouble. Russo, did he have it when he was caught? It's out of bounds anyway, and a throw-in will fall.
Out of bounds on the centre wing position. 6.5 minutes gone at the third quarter. 94 plays 46 in favour of Hawthorn. Waiting for the umpire to bring the ball back from the centre wing position. Knocked out by Ironmonger. Healy's in plenty of trouble there. Russo smothers the ball, goes for a hand pass, a good one, 2 over to Loveridge, back to Buckenara. The ball across towards centre field. Coming out to meet it now as Rod Carter gets away from Curran. Well tackled by Curran. It'll be holding the ball, though the umpire said play on. Bolton goes down to Curran still there. I thought he might have got a free kick, but that was a great tackle by Curran.
I think a tackle like that, when you've chased under those circumstances, should be rewarded.
So it'll be a ball up out there on the edge of the square. And Hawthorn have already kicked a goal in this third quarter. Knocked out by Ironmonger. Not a good knockout. Tuck again coming out the pack. He was legged and hooked the free kick in the centre of the ground. Tucky played very well in the first quarter. A little bit quieter in the second, but he's bouncing back again the third. Loveridge is up into that, allowed Williams to pick it up. In goes forward. He's grabbed by Lester Smith. Wright gets it over to Healy. 50 metres out up there towards Capper. Falls short. And Mew had no worries in the world about taking that mark at full-back. Doesn't waste any time. A quick hand pass over to Ayres. Another one to Langford. Quick one to Deere. Deere looks for Reed, taps it on to Langford. He's got control of it now. He's lost it. In goes Russo. He was grabbed. There's 3 of them there to grab him. He can't get out, but he'll get a free kick.
Bit lucky.
15-metre penalty. So this brings him past the centre wing position. Played very well today, Russo. He's had Williams pretty well covered.
Another 15 metres left.
There's the kick. Well up there towards the full forward position. Curran at the back, flies, couldn't hold the mark. Kennedy with a snap and goal. That's smothered that time by Roberts. And once again, the umpire will ball it up about 15 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Hawthorn at the moment 15-4-94 to the Sydney Swans 6-10-46 into this quarter by 8.5 minutes.
The ball up 15 metres from the Hawthorn goal. Kennedy, Dunstall. Actually, if he hadn't got a hand to it, it might have been a score. Mitchell's kick is high, not too handsome, I'm afraid. From a Swans point of view, it's out of bounds, but it was touched. And so a boundary throw-in will take place about 20 metres from goal. Ironmonger. Holden. High kick. It won't be a mark, doesn't travel the required distance, so Ironmonger thumps it a further 15 metres downfield. Good pick up by Bolton. Bolton gets it on to Coleman. Coleman at left centre wing. Well tackled by Morris, just about holding the ball. In fact, the umpire has penalised him for such. And Russell Morris, who of course did come originally from Sydney.
Looking at the Swans today, Bob, I think it emphasises their weakness in key position play.
Yes, they've got no one really to take marks straight down that centre of the ground.
Over the top, Dippia Domenico. Hawk loses out. Robertson, wobbly punt kick, won't be a score, but it's into the pocket in front of Dunstall. Good defence by Danaher. Back it comes to Loveridge and/or Tuck. It's picked up by the Hawthorn skipper. Good tackle by Healy. Curran from the boundary, 1 point. So behind the Hawthorn, 15-5. Their accuracy has been superb so far. 95 plays 46, and that's a difference of 49 points. Danaher to the outer side, or the Pat Hill stand side, I guess, to be more correct, but the mark is taken for Hawthorn by Russell Morris.
Done well in his comeback game, Pete.
He has so too as the other comeback player, Peter Russo.
He's been excellent.
Morris's kick is high. He's trying to find Brereton. Just about grabbed that one too. Platten or grab high. No free kick. Boundary throw in about 10 metres from the goal. So after the Swans did the attacking for about the first 4 minutes of the term, Hawthorn consistently in attack in the last few minutes. In front is Ironmonger. Doesn't get a decisive tap out. Brereton and Hawk tangle. The result is a stalemate. A bounce will fall.
Well, it'll be a ball up about 15 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. 11 minutes gone, just on in this third quarter. 15-5 play, 6-10. Hawthorn looking good. Comes out to Roberts, over to Bolt, put under pressure, got a hurried kick, and there's Russo, the man we were talking about before. Certainly played well today. He's been well on top of Williams, and that's saying a lot too, because Williams would be one of the favourites for the Brownlow this year.
He's had that. Actually, he hasn't been as dominant the last few weeks.
It's kick by
long
Russo.
Season, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, Bob. It'll be longer next year, I'd reckon.
Well, what I'm saying is that you cannot expect any player to perform 22 times a year, and, you know, and then come up for the finals again.
So the difference now, 50 points. It's a big gap to catch up by the Swans. Punched out by Curran. Hindmonger fell over, Platt back to Tuck. Tuck hooks the ball back, and there's a mark to Buckenara. He's only about 25 metres out from goal directly in front. So the Swans are certainly falling apart today, and there's no doubt about it. They certainly lack key position players, blokes that can take marks right down the centre of the ground. That could be fatal in the finals for them. Waiting on this kick from Buckenara. And he's had a great season, this fellow. He'd be one of the chances for the Brownlow too. Let's see the result of the kick. It's a goal.
Behind every one of these buttons is a brain, an integrated circuit. And behind every one of these integrated circuits is NEC technology. Technology that is keeping you in front.
46 plays, 102 as Williams gets it out now to Healy. Over there it goes to Hawk at 50 metres. Oh, that's a magnificent tackle by Robertson. Picked up by Lester Smith. They're backing up well today, Hawthorn. Out it goes to Weed. Look at these Hawthorn players running all over the place. There's DPN a minute ago on his own. He decides to get around Carter. He does with brute strength that time. Down to Curran. Couldn't hold the mark, but comes out of the pack okay. Gives a bad hand pass. A fumble by Tui right on the boundary line. And the umpire said it'll be a throw in about 20 metres around from the Hawthorn goal.
You were saying about Buckenara, Lou. He has had a great season.
Yeah, certainly has. It's great to see that happen because he looked as though he may have been finished a year or so ago with that bad knee injury. Knocked out by Tui, swooped on by Russo. His kick is smothered by Mitchell. The ball is out of bounds. This time it's about 35 metres around from the Hawthorn goal, but they've got nothing to worry about at the moment. 16-6, 102 to Sydney, 6-10, 46. 13.5 minutes gone of this third quarter.
Another bounce to take place about 30 metres from the Hawthorn goal. Very cool conditions in Sydney this afternoon with a strong southerly. It's blowing to the end that Hawthorn are kicking to at the moment. Over the top, Ironmonger tries to find Carroll. Good bump by Richard Loveridge, though, puts him over the boundary line with the ball. And the throw in about 35 metres from goal. Ironmonger can't quite get it out. Loveridge spins out of the pack. Only a short kick. Brereton a chance for goal number 4 from 30 metres out. He has a shot and has put it through. So Brereton's fourth and Hawthorn go further ahead. 17-6, 108 to 6-10-46. A difference of 62 points. Thank you, Bob.
Well, they don't look like slumming this second half today, Bob, do they?
On replay now, Loveridge in the thick of things, been an excellent player, and Brereton with 4 goals from centre half forward has really done the job for the Hawks.
Approaching the 15-minute mark, 62 points the difference. Deer against Ironmonger. And neither gets an effective tap out to that. Mitchell caught by Deer. Stalemate is the result, according to Peter Cameron, and it will be a bounce again.
Ball up at centre field. Hawthorn doing most of the attacking in this third. Well, they've done it all day, actually, but they're doing it more so this quarter. Platt gets a hurried kick back to centre half forward. Brereton taps the ball on with Carroll there. It's pushed out to DPN a minute ago. Goes for a hand pass, not a good one. Under plenty of pressure, picked up by Carroll. Out wide, coming in to meet it now is Mew, backing up well as Lester Smith, as he usually does, goes for a short pass, looking for Loveridge. He's found him right on the boundary line. So Loveridge has the ball about 75 metres out from goal, goes for a short pass. Plenty of players left unattended here as Buckenara takes that mark. Very loose defence by the Swans up there towards the full forward position. He just about grabbed that Dunstall, but the umpire said there'll be a free kick. It'll go there to Danaher from one in the back. They're certainly loose at the moment, that fence, Bob.
It's everywhere you look, there seems to be Hawthorn players running. If the Hawthorn player picks the ball up, there's a number of players for him to kick to.
There's Morwood now. He's got really no one to kick that one to because Ayres has got right well covered. Comes down to Williams, over around the ball. Rosso was grabbed, still got it out. Good play. Out to Robertson. Robertson over to Platten. There's the players I was talking about. There's three of them there now. And there's a few more running loose down there on that forward line as he goes for a short pass to Dunstall. Brereton's there too deep here to Menego. Couldn't pick it up. Tucky kicked it off the ground. Goes after it again. He was grabbed by the leg, but the umpire said play on as Mitchell gets the ball back to Bolt. Scooped it up on the half volley. Over, oh, there's Hawk at no hope. That down, he was at Hawk or Holden, it wasn't. He went down like a...
Surely that was pushing the back.
I thought it might have been. It'll be a ball up at centre half forward for Hawthorn. Not too happy about it, Holden.
There's the replay.
I'd say it's in the back. So a ball up. Knocked out by the big fella Ironmonger. It was a good knockout, but we see Healy overrun the ball. Good play on the part of Robertson. Allowed D to go through when he shethered it off that time, but the kick wasn't too hot. Grabbed by Ian Roberts to centre half. Back goes for a long kick over the centre field position. Mew couldn't hold that mark, but backing up. Well, look at all those Hawthorn players. There's about 5 of them there as it comes out now from Russo over to Buccanaro. Buccanaro's kick is down there towards Kennedy's grabbed it. Did he give Roberts one on the back? Umpire didn't think so. So Kennedy's got a chance now to put the Hawks' 18th goal on the board. This has been a one-horse race today. They've certainly made amends for their shocking displays the last 2 weeks, Hawthorn.
Well, we didn't see them move, but obviously a great form turnaround.
There's the kick now by Kennedy. He's off target and through for 1 point. So they move on to 17 goals, 7-109 to Sydney 6-10-46, just on the 18-minute mark of this third quarter.
As Alan June said on World of Sport last week, Pete, the Hawthorn have not played well, apart from today, that is, since winning the night series. And right throughout, even though they were winning, Alan Jones wasn't happy with their form.
Well, they struggled against St Kilda and they struggled against Melbourne, games we didn't see. Now it's going to be a ball up. Pretty well on the centre wing position. It's no secret, though, too, that Hawthorn would prefer a firm ground, and while this ground isn't exactly firm everywhere, it's in pretty good condition despite the rain they had, and very heavy rain at that, here during the week. Ironmonger scoops it out. There's a free kick on the shoulder, though. Oh, Dermott, take it easy. Ironmonger gets the hand pass out to Bolton. He's too quick for Rodney Eade. He's a bit too quick for everybody, but it's a badly directed kick, and DP Domenico takes a fairly easy mark. Plays on, long, out towards right half forward. Tui and Kennedy going for it. The boundary line might be too close.
Pushing the back, Pete.
Yeah. Yes, it is. To Bernard Tui.
I think the difference was an example there with Bolton running his full distance, but then kicking it straight to the opposition.
Yeah. A lot of those speed merchants do that, Bob.
Kick up towards centre wing. Platten and Williams. Platten gets there first. High kick is out of bounds on the full. That'll be another free kick to the Swans. And the recipient once again should or could be Bernard Tui. Tui at the left half-back flank.
I think we should compliment the crowd up here too, Pete. Every time we've seen a match here, they're well behaved, aren't they?
They're becoming more and more knowledgeable too.
So they are.
It's a play on call. Mitchell. And also kicking it straight to the opposition, this time in the person of Colin Robertson. Robertson on right centre wing. Down to half forward. He's trying to find Brereton, and he's got him. Brereton plays football instead of doing other things, an example of which we saw some few minutes back. He can be a real match winner. He's kicked 4 goals so far from the 50-metre line. He won't score with that one. He's got it right underneath it. It's out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a free kick to the Swans to take it in the back pocket by Barry Mitchell.
Well, there's no doubt about Brereton. He's a natural, isn't he? He's got just natural talent, Bob, but he uses it, doesn't he?
Yes, and he's great for the crowd too. He's a real draw card, a real personality.
Mew can't punch it clear of Coleman. Tries to take it off him, but it is Coleman's kick. Coleman at the left half-back flank. His kick is a long one. Intended for Edmund, who fumbles. Stevie Wright backs him up, but a good hip and shoulder by Deere. Finally picked up by Holden. His kick likewise short. Browning off. That might be a free kick. No, says the umpire. Loveridge gets, not Loveridge. It was getting ridden into the ground. Back to Russell Morris, but umpire Peter Cameron comes in to sort things out.
It's against Browning for going to that back that time.
Might have been the square off, and he was the one that got caught.
Well, Browning goes down. You watch Browning get up and have a go here now, but I suppose you naturally do that. So the ball goes back there towards the centre wing position. Down goes Healy, tries to get a hand pass. Williams has got a slick one out there to Carter. Now Browning's got the mark. He's out there on the centre wing position. He's been a pretty quiet player today, but we've seen him play some great games. Mew couldn't pick it up, but backing up as well is Ayres. It comes over now from Buckenau to length, but back to the centre of the ground. Kennedy over to Loveridge. Loveridge runs to centre half forward. Let's fly. Looking for Dunstall. He might make the distance here. No, well played by Danaher that time. Tapped it through and made it safe for a point. So it's 46 plays, 110. And the Swans looking pretty sick. Into this third quarter by 21, just on 22 minutes. The ball back into play again. Williams and DP a minute ago has got 3 to him. That was a strong mark taken by Toohey there at half back. Well, they haven't had many good players today, the Swans, Bob. I suppose you could count their best players on one hand.
And then those players have been in and out of the game, Lou.
Yep, ball knocked down again by Deere, and it's out of bounds on the centre wing position. Well, I suppose in this third quarter, the Swans have only been into attack about, what, 6 or 7 times. And
they've added 2 points, Lou.
Hawthorn have had the ball on their forward line for most of the game. There's a hand pass from Wright coming out to Browning from about 70 metres out. Let's fly, looking for Kappa. He's got the sit if he's good enough. Well played by Lang, but over to Morris. And Morris not doing a bad job in his comeback game here today. Picked up by Lester Smith to Russo. He'd have to be in the voting today for sure. He's played a great game as the ball falls short. There's a great mark to Toohey. I think you'd have to consider Russo in the first 3 or 4, Bob.
Most certainly, Lou.
Well, we see Toohey getting a 15-metre penalty. Kicked by Toohey's back to the half-forward line for the Swans. The big fella Ironmonger got up, but that's Lester Smith trying to tap it on. In goes Morris. He was grabbed too high, and he'll get a free kick on that half-back flank. Doesn't waste any time. Over to Robertson. They're really keeping the ball rolling here. To Kennedy. Got one a bit high, and he'll get a free kick for that. So the Swans being a bit foolish, and they're certainly down the drain because they've only got 6 goals, 10-46 on the board to 17-8, 110. That's how badly they're going. So the ball comes out now, picked up by Murphy. Over it goes to Wright. Wright's kick is a long one up to Kappa and Lang, but Kappa in front, but he got under that one. He goes, oh no, it's Edmund with a chance to crash through, but well tackled by Lester Smith and set hold of the ball. That was a great tackle.
Looked a certain goal, didn't it?
Certainly did.
And Rod Lester Smith with a fine tackle. Edmund got on top of him early. Lester Smith has fought back. Morris, he's played well. Out to Mew. I think he was intending that ball. Mew gets well shepherded by Platten.
The Swans have slowed down a bit.
Danaher knocks it clear, but not clear of Brereton. Back to Weed. Off the ground might be the go. If he can get a hand pass out. Now it's on to Curran. Curran shoots at goal. It looks good from here. The goal umpire says full points.
There's a change in the air. TAA, the airline that was born to serve the needs of all Australians, has now become the airline all Australians can proudly call their own.
Come on and fly, Australia.
Australian Airlines.
Come on and fly.
Chris Mew was in the hands of the trainers with possibly a calf injury, but he's staying out there, certainly at least for the time being. 70 points the difference. Ironmonger loses that one out to Deere. Williams tries to break clear, can't do so. The kick might be picked up by Holden. Wright from centre field puts the Swans into attack up to half forward. Mitchell comes out. Robertson's right there with him. Might have got a free kick. Robertson, excellent hand pass to Wright. It is well shepherded by Morwood. Wright goes goalwards. It might be their first for the quarter. At the post. So things not going the Swans' way this afternoon. 18-8 to 6-11. 116 plays 47. And we enter the time-on period of the third quarter. It's going to be Chris Langford, who so far today has kept Warwick Kappa to 2 goals. Kappa, although has been starved of opportunities, let's be fair about that. Free kick will go Hawthorn way at left half-back flank to be taken by Dippia Domenico.
He was, in some respects, he was off then too.
And the umpire directing him to go back.
Got to get behind the mark.
Perhaps luckily, David Bolton having a few words to say to Rowan Saws and also to Birdie himself. Crowd doesn't like it. Mark taken by Gary Ayres on left centre wing.
At least he's adding a bit of excitement to the game because it's pretty one-sided.
To half forward, Brereton tries to get in front position for the knock on. It comes out to Curran. That won't be a score. Into the forward pocket. Danaher might get there first, leading his opposite number 19, Dunstall, a boundary throw.
Just over 26 minutes gone of the third quarter. Ball out of bounds in the forward pocket for Hawthorn, about 30 metres around from their goal. It'll be Ironmonger and Brereton to go for the knockout. Curran at the back. Knocked out that time by Carter. In goes Roberts, a stack up again, and the umpire will ball it up. This time about 20 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. But they've had, well, they've had all the play all the day, and seem to be going easy to me because the Swans are putting up very little resistance, 18-8 to a 6-11. Very disappointing display as the ball is kicked back by Williams, punched out again by Morris. Bolton with a slick hand pass. Over it goes to Mitchell. Back it comes now to Carter. Carter goes for a pass. It'll be all right. Edmonds got it. He's out there on the point of the square, a good 60 metres out from goal. He's looking for Kappa, but he's covered. Well played by Langford. Knocked the ball out. Coming in as he taps the ball out. Picked up by Mitch, but he's grabbed by Langford again. These defenders for Hawthorn certainly won't give you much latitude. They really go after you, and the umpire will ball it up. This time it's about 30 metres out from the Swans' goal. Certainly go after him, Bob, don't they?
And they bounced it in that mud, but he might be able to find some firm ground adjacent to it. Thrown in the air. Ironmonger taps it down beautifully. Picked up by Murphy. To half forward for the Swans. Kappa should be able to get goal number 3. 1 point or out of bounds. It's a behind. So a golden opportunity. Missed there by Warwick Kappa, who is the Swans' leading goal kicker so far today with 2. Gary Ayres certainly hasn't done much wrong. Out to Langford. Langford at the 50-metre defence line for Hawthorn. Kappa being whistled back on the mark. To centre wing. I didn't think that was a mark. Anyway, he's played it to Tony Morwood. Morwood from right centre. Knocked away by Langford, and he's done that successfully all afternoon. Will it beat Tui over the line? No, he's well shepherded. Picks it up some 65 metres out. Tries to lob it in the goal square. That attempt not successful, out of bounds on the full, and again Gary Ayres will take a free kick for Hawthorn.
Even if it hadn't gone out on the full there were 3 Hawthorn players all there waiting for that ball to come forward.
Of course, we should consider percentage too. Before the game started, there was only about 0.5 of 1% in favour of Hawthorn over the Swans, and in the run home it could prove vital. Dippia Domenico marks the kick from Deer. He's on left centre wing. In front is Carter. Russo. Curran's been a damaging forward. Short pass to Buckenara is a gem, and Buckenara marks about 30 metres from goal.
Well, he could have easily run on then, but he's decided to go back to make a certainty of it.
Once again, Russo getting the ball out with a lovely hand pass. He's been a superb player today, Peter Russo.
Well, I think he's been their most effective player because he's shut Williams out of the game to stop him being so effective and played so well himself. That's the most important thing. That's a very hard thing to do. There's the kick, and it's another goal. So the scoreboard, 6 goals, 12-48. The Sydney Swans looking very sick. To Hawthorn, 19-8 to 122. Now, I know I mentioned this before the third quarter commentary, Bob, but I think they're going to be in plenty of trouble in the finals, the Sydney Swans, because they lack a lot of key position players down the centre of the ground to take the big mark, which is necessary in those spring days of September.
Yes, Dennis Carroll's been a superb player through the year, but he still lacks height for the key position.
There we see Coleman in the ruck again. He hasn't been a bad player today. He's not their worst player by a mile. Well, little Ludwig's actually kicked it into Deer, picked up by Holden, tapped on again by Tuck out to Robertson. Over it goes to Russo. As Bob said, just about the best player on the ground. Brereton just about grabbed that, picked up by Dippia Domenico, stopped there by by Curran. Platt goes after it again. He smothers it, so he won't let anybody else. He's down. They certainly piled on top of him there, and the umpire will ball it up about 30 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. This fella's a bit of a terrier too.
Oh, yes, since quarter time, he's been a great player. So too, Loveridge. Oh, look, the whole Hawthorn side. When you give votes, if you could miss about half a dozen great players.
Well, it'll be certainly great to see Alan Jeans smiling on the way home in the plane, because not the greatest youngster in the world, but I think he'll have a laugh tonight because he'd be very satisfied with his side. There we see Jeansy. Still looking pretty glum. But that's what you've got to do. As soon as the game starts, you've got to get a frown on your forehead when you're a coach. That's the first qualification. Well, you should know that, Bob. You've had a bit of frowning when you were with Melbourne. Well, there's the young Morris. And, I think we mentioned a couple of times Morris hasn't been a bad play today. Picked up by Lester Smith. The kick's not so good. Marked there by Carroll. So Carroll with the ball down there on that half-back line. Boots the ball out to the wing position now. Flying high was Edmund. Started up very well, but he's been shut out of the game by Lester Smith. And he's got a chance now to send them into attack through Healy.
Healy from left half forward flank. A short pass. Effective. The mark taken by Mitchell. Might get a 15-metre penalty. No, a play on call. Mitchell puts it out in front, tries to find Kappa. Langford knocks it down, picked up by Robertson. Long hand pass intended for Russell Morris. Breaks the tackle well from Morwood. 20-metre hand pass intended for Langford, but he fell over at the crucial moment. Gives the opportunity to Browning. He was off the field for a while. Browning's kick not well directed, and the Swans have done that a lot today. Kick straight to the opposition. Deep into Medico, brushes his way through. Langford at centre field takes the mark. On to Russo. Look at the pass. Look at that, Dunstall. And Russo really shaping up his best man on the ground.
I think he might have convinced you now, Bob.
He's had about 3 or 4 possessions in the final quarter.
I chalked him in a 3/4 time.
So a great comeback by Peter Russo after missing, I think, 8 or 9 games. Might have been more. I think he did the injury against Collingwood, so it might even be 10. Russo's, the kick by Dunstall is a goal.
Holden's luxurious Calais now offers you an additional luxury. But you won't see it inside this sumptuous interior. It's not the lavish appointments, or the cruise control, the central locking, or the power windows. It's new turbo power. It gives Calais the performance to eclipse even the most expensive European imports. Experience world-class luxury and performance in the new Holden Calais Turbo.
Hawthorn defeated the Swans earlier in the year, and they're going to make it a double whammy this afternoon. Centre square infringement going Greg Deer's way.
I think Hawthorn's one side will be happy to come up here every week, Pete. They've never been beaten, even including when they played North Melbourne here with before 30-odd thousand.
That's right.
Would this be the biggest drubbing the Swans have had this year, 80 points?
I would imagine so, Lou.
Yes.
Up here in Sydney in particular.
Well, they lost by 1 point and 4 points, the 2 previous losses up here.
The Royal Box not looking too happy up there.
So a bounce at centre half forward for Hawthorn. And the spongy turf doesn't bounce too high. Curran out to Loveridge, who's roved excellently. In a very good season, Richard Loveridge. Tui tackled by Tuck. He's just about got him. Tui's hurried hand passes over the line, and the throw-in will take place 50 metres from the Hawthorn goal. And the Hawks have regrouped after 2 drubbings, and it will test the Swans now to see if they can come back. Over the top was Curran to Eade. Eade up towards the full forward pocket. Carter couldn't take the mark, but Roberts backs him up well. Morris. Edmund went at him, might be in the back now against Edmund. In fact, it is. Free kick going Hawthorn's way to number 15. As I said earlier in the commentary, originally Kate from Sydney.
Hasn't played too badly either.
Played an excellent game, Lou.
Now his father is a very keen follower. Dunstall. Away from goal, about 65 metres. Dunstall's kicked 3. Puts it out in front. Some tall timber needed here. Off Brereton on his own easily.
Well, Brereton with a chance to kick goal number 5 now from about 20 metres out. And they've fallen really in a heap. They look very dispirited, the Swans. It's a bit of a pathetic effort really today. I'm quite sure their coach, Tommy Hafey, wouldn't be happy with their performance. He was a bit sad last week against Carlton. He'll be sadder today. And that's goal number 5 to Brereton. And of course, they're building up that percentage. 21 goals, 8, 134 to the Sydney Swans, 6-12, 48. Tommy Hafey looking pretty disgruntled there.
They still haven't scored a goal since half-time, Lou.
And there's the other coach. You think he's the losing coach, Jeans.
Lou, you don't smile as a coach until the game is over.
Is that right? Well, I don't think he's got any worries now. I think he can crack it for a grin. Centre bounce again.
He's smiling inwardly.
Over to Buccanara. Back it goes to Kennedy. A long shot at goal, but he's off target. Touched right on the line that time by Robertson, through for another point. So it's still 6 goals, 12-48 Sydney to the Hawks, 21-9, 135. Waiting on Danaher. Danaher's kick is a long one. That is a good kick back to nearly centre field. Well, Williams dropped that. I thought it would have been a mark, but Healy gets it out now to Mitchell. Tapped on again by Russo. Picked up by Tuck. Tuck's kick is hooked back over the half-forward line. Punched away by Danaher, and again by Broden. Mitchell pounces on it, goes for the boundary line. He had nowhere else to go that time, and the ball is out of bounds, but it's only about 35 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. Crowd a little bit disappointed in the Swans display. Lucky gets it now, back to Platt. Platt front on the boundary line, hooks it back there towards Dunstall. Bolton's, oh, great mark to Dunstall. That was a ripper of a mark. It was a beautiful mark, Bobby.
And courageous too, Lou. He had no idea who or what was coming. And that's a lovely mark.
Yes, for the grabs of the day. Very similar to one that Peter Curran took earlier.
It was well off the ground for a bloke in front of the pack too. It was a good leap. He's kicked 3, going for goal number 4, and of course going for the Hawks' 22nd goal. Into this last quarter by just on 10.5 minutes, and that's another one. Goal number 4 to Dunstall.
There's a change in the air. TAA, the airline that was born to serve the needs of all Australians, has now become the airline all Australians can proudly call their own.
Come on and fly, Australia.
Australian Airlines.
Come on and fly.
Dunstall's mark well in contention for mark of the day, and he was able to cap it off with his 4th goal, 141-48. The Swans still to score a goal after half-time. Robertson playing it in front of him. In pursuit, Bolton and Browning. Browning's the one to win out. Gets it out to Tui, but the hand pass goes astray at the last minute. And umpire Peter Cameron will bounce it. It's past the 50-metre line.
Doesn't matter what the Swans try, Pete. They're still in there doing their best, but it just nothing is coming off.
Well, that's the way it goes when you're having such a bad trot, Bob, and you can't do a thing right, can you?
No, there's no lack of endeavour there. They're trying their hearts out, but they're just not quite good enough today.
Yes, it's a pity because we had the biggest crowd this year. Dunstall under his right foot. The snapshot at goal looks pretty good. And that's number 5 to Jason Dunstall. And Hawthorn fans will be very pleased to see him back in form because he, of late, has had a lean trot as well. 23-9 to 6-12.
Well, there we saw the Hawthorn fans, and you know, they were saying last night that of all the clubs that have come up this year, the Hawthorn have had by far the greatest support. And amongst people living in Sydney, the Sydneyites say that Hawthorn have certainly the biggest backing.
And Hawthorn's percentage now up to 130.6, so that's a 5% boost from the 125 or thereabouts they had before the match started. Eade had his kick smothered, then finally taken away by Gerard Healy. Up to the left forward pocket. Kappa on the chest. No, can't mark it. Cole gets it back to right. Or just about caught. Might have been grabbed too high, Stevie Wright. Umpire Peter Cameron didn't think so, though. Scooped out by Morris towards the boundary line. Langford and Edmund. Judge on the ground for the first time. Platten goes down, the ball over the line.
Airs off, Pete.
Well, he didn't do much wrong all day.
Because he hasn't been taken off, that's for sure.
Judge onto Buccanara, onto Russo. He's the player that I think we all agree is best on the ground. Number 4 for Hawthorn, and Dunstall really coming into his own now. His confidence is up. Onto Mew. A sidestep, but back to Dunstall. Onto Tuck. Hawthorn doing as they like at the moment. The Hawthorn skipper's shot might be shepherded through.
Could have been pushed.
It's a goal.
I think it should have been against Brereton, I think.
Nice old nudge in the back there. 24-9 to 6-12.
Well, that's a lead of 105 points. And, of course, The Swans are not looking good at all. Let's see that in replay again.
Well, for a minute there, I thought we were going to see another defender come down the ground and kick a goal, because Mew looked as though after taking that hand pass from Dunstall and a nice little shove to get rid of Dennis Carroll, and then the smile from Dermot Burton.
Just on the 14-minute mark, and Hawthorn get another free kick at centre field and go to Deere.
He hasn't let them down either.
No, he's played a fair game, the big fella. Pushed out by Carroll. Brereton goes in hard. Tui couldn't get clear. The umpire still called play on as Roberts gets it over now to Holden. Holden's hand passes out to right. He fumbles the ball. He's got to pick it up. He's got it now out there on the centre wing position. Back to Tui, who ran into Roberts. It's a shocking kick. He's given it here to Buckenara.
Here's a perfect example of the disposal between the two sides.
That's right. And Hawthorn players running loose all over the place, as we see there. It's picked up by Ed, a bit of a box on between Deere and Bolt behind play as the ball goes back now towards centre half forward. Well, they all missed that. Dano gets a hand pass back to Carter, a long one back to the centre half back, picked up now by Healy. The kick is up to centre half forward, and there's a strong mark to Mew. Over it goes to Lester Smith. Back to, well, he got jammed there, but the umpires found a free kick. He might have been lucky to get away with that.
I think he was, Lou. They did hang on after he got rid of the ball.
So Lester Smith at half back gives a hand pass over now to Kennedy. To a right. The ball marked out here by Mew. Mew hasn't played a bad sort of a game either. He could name just about every player on the side. Morris was overwhelmed that time with too many Swans players. Finally it's picked up by Healy. Down towards that half-forward line again. Williams had a touch of the fumbles. Big Mark Roberts goes in to give a hand, but he can't get it out. It's finally given out now to Deere. Over to Kennedy. Back it goes to Mew. Back to Robertson to Kennedy. Kennedy's kick is a long one up there towards Tuck. He'll grab this one just about. He gave a bit of a shove at the back to Holden. Over it goes to Platten. A hurried kick up there towards Brereton, and Danaher just about a mark. There's a goal for Curran. If he can get it out to Judge, he has a beautiful twist away and a goal. Well, that was good play on the part of the Hawks.
Inside this compact new video camera is a full-size VHS recorder. National call it the VHS movie. Easy movie.
Not all small business people have been forced to tighten their belts. Some have found a more efficient way to trim their expenses. Get on the phone and get on with business.
111 points the difference in favour of Hawthorn. 16 minutes gone of this last quarter. 159 plays 48. No one dreamt that'd be the score at this stage of the match. This big crowd of 39,000 would certainly be disappointed as we see Kappa swamped by three players. Robertson does as he likes down there on the back pocket. Goes right across goal, but it doesn't matter because there we see he'd take the mark short of half-back, just about on that 50-metre defence line.
Rodney Eade just up from the back pocket. Around the centre wing, Tuck was the flyer. And Tucker can get on ground that much. Tackett comes down to Paul Hawke just inside the boundary line. Leading out is Edmund. Good mark. Edmund about 40 metres out, but very close to the boundary. Swans still to score a goal after half-time. They've scored only 4 points since the main change. Very similar to Hawthorn's efforts last week, and of course Hawthorn also stagnated on 6 goals. That might be their first since half-time. The goal umpire says no, 1 point only. A narrow miss nonetheless by Edmund. 6-13 to 25-9, so only 5 points since half-time. 17.5 minutes into the final term. Russell Morris. Here he is, has done most of the kicking out, but he's on the bench at the moment. Over the top of length, it is Kappa. Kappa a long way from goal.
But on Deere off, Pete.
Greg Deere has done very, very well. And Abbott onto the ground for the first time today. Kappa's kick into the square. Mew with the thump on, couldn't pick it up. Hand pass from Hawke comes back to Edmund, but it's out of bounds and a boundary throw.
Pete. No, at least they're consistent. They gave it against Loveridge from memory, and this time against Hawke.
Yes, Loveridge early on.
Well, they still haven't scored a goal since half-time, Pete.
No. Robertson's short pass could be dangerous, this one. Healy the chance to score. He's off target. Things not going the Swans' way, and it's been the case all day. Robertson thumps it out of bounds. This time it will be a throw-in the Swans' right forward pocket. 18.5 minutes into the term. Mark Roberts is going to contest the throw-in with Abbott. Capper over the top. Stevie Wright, here's a chance for a goal. Wright shoots, but he's off target. And would you believe it, out of bounds on the full.
Not when it's running for you, Lou.
That's right. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not.
At least they've kept at it, though, Pete. That's the one thing you can say for them, that nothing can go their way.
Certainly not today. And as I said, it's a big disappointment in front of the excellent crowd we had here this afternoon. Rod Lester-Smith brings the ball back into play.
And it's out there to the half-back line. Ball tapped to the ground again. Coming in to meet it now was Kennedy. Crashed his way through the pack. Picked up that time by Abbott. Judge with a hand pass. Not a good one to Roberts, but it doesn't matter. There we see Russo trying to tap it on. He's attacked there by Wright. In goes Williams. He goes down. It comes out to Mitchell from forward. Over to Healy now from about 40 metres out. A running shot. That could be their first since half-time. It is. And the crowd giving ironic.
Richard Zachariah, 11 a.m. weekdays. Mal Walden, 6:30 weeknights. Laurie Wilson, weeknights. The right news at the right time is on 7.
Extortion. The demand: cease all chemical warfare experiments. A crazy idealist holding the community at ransom. Bodie and Doyle. Their job: stop him, no matter what the cost. The Professionals, 9:45 Tuesday on 7.
20 minutes gone and 55 plays, 159. That's the Swans' first goal since half-time. So that's how well how bad they've been going up there in attack. Full marks of the Hawthorn defence. Chance now for Mew to take the ball away from that back pocket position. Healy ready to send them back deep into attack again from the 50-metre line. Fires at the goals. Kappa's up there too, Morwood, but well played by Morris that time and tapped it through for a point.
Swanets have got icicles on them before that last goal.
That's the 6th time,
what's that,
Lou,
Bob?
it's the 6th time that it's been forced through for a point by Hawthorn.
Okay, 56 plays, 55 plays, 159. And we see Lester Smith going for a pass, and what a beauty it is. Over to Curran, back to Russo. A hand pass, misguided that time, picked up by Carroll to Browning. Browning gets it over to Mitchell. Back it goes to Williams with a long kick down there looking for Edmund. And that's a mark. Lester Smith coming on the scene a little bit too late. So he's got the mark about 35 to 40 metres out from goal. Well, Edmund started off very well in the first quarter, but he's had a pretty lean time since then. Well, so most of his teammates too. So we can't point the bone at him in particular. Waiting on Edmund. There it is. And he's got that one too. That's their second goal since half-time. So they move on now to 8 goals, 13, 61, 62, 8 goals, 14, 62 points. To Hawthorn, 25 goals, 9, 159. Now, I just wonder whether the scoreboard is right because they've got 8-13 on the board up there.
On replay now, Greg Williams, after taking the hand pass. And a nice mark by Jim Edmund.
Ironmonger knocks the ball well clear, picked up by Holden. Holden a short pass to left half forward, hit Mark Roberts on the chest. And gets through some Hawthorn players down there to shoot it onto Bolton. Tries to get clear of Kennedy onto Healy. This could be another one. Wright fires out the hand pass to Hawke. And Hawke puts it through. So the Swans coming back to add some respectability to their score, and everything counts in the run home of the finals. Percentage having that at the back of the mind, 25-9 to 9-14.
There isn't any doubt. You see Bolton, there isn't any doubt the Hawks have relaxed a bit. The Swans, to their credit, have taken advantage of any relaxation.
So 3 goals in about 4 minutes to the Swans. They certainly haven't done that all day, and that was Paul Hawke's first goal.
Well, Hawthorn's slump might come in the last quarter this week. I don't think they can lose the game, can they?
Well, Essendon slowed down a bit against Richmond too. Abbott against Ironmonger. Down to Platten, who kicks it to the breadbasket of Greg Williams. Umpire Peter Cameron will bounce it, still at centre field. Just past the 23-minute mark of the final term. The 8 plays 159.
Would you go to the trust office, please? Mr. Joseph.
Ironmonger knocks it onto Platten. The half forward for Hawthorn. Tui tried to get it into the open spaces, but Brereton sockers it off the ground in front of Dennis Carroll. Brereton files into him. Finally, it's taken by Hawke. Hawke, the right half back, runs around Dunstan. Oh, a good tackle by Judge on Bolton, just about threw that one away before he got the punch to it, but it is out of bounds. And the throw-in will follow on the centre wing position. Pat Hill stands side of the ground. Ironmonger on his own, on a Hawke. Hawke from right centre wing, Tui, close to the boundary line. All Hawthorn down there. Abbott and Mew. Out comes Kappa. Now he's going to have a shot himself. Gets around Abbott. No, he doesn't. Is he out of bounds? A play on call from the umpire. Stevie Wright will get it back to Kappa. Well tackled by John Platten. Robertson. Long hand pass to the Hawthorn rover. That wasn't a good one. Intercepting is Gerard Healy. Healy gives it on to Mitchell, but that bounce didn't favour him at all. Edmund tries to get into the open spaces, not successful. Still a play on call from the umpire. He'll have to ball it up here. And that is the result. A ball up, 15 metres from the Swans' goal. 24 3/4 minutes gone in the final term. Abbott. Robertson. He runs into Dippy and Domenico. Short pass. Browning and Tuck. They started on each other. Browning spent some time in the bench, and it will be a throw-in on the outer wing.
Into the quarter by just over 25 minutes. It's still Hawthorn by a mile. 25 goals and 159 to 9-14-68. Back it goes towards the Swans half-forward line. Morris with a good bit of shepherding off that time. Morwood up to get the ball back to the wing position. That's Curran coming out with a hand pass to Tuck. He tried to get it out there to Judge, but was misfired. Hawke is a good one to Tui. Tui hasn't actually played a bad game as he goes for the long kick looking for Kappa. Kappa couldn't snap that one up on the boundary line, and it's out of bounds, about 5 or 6 metres around from the Swans' goal. At least they've done better in this quarter, kicking 3 goals for the quarter. Ball back into play again. Abbott. Muse there, snapped that one out of the air. He's grabbed by Kappa, and the umpire said no. Kappa appealing for a holding the ball decision. But he'll ball it up, still about 15 to 20 metres out from the Sydney Swans' goal. Knocked out by Abbott, looking for Platten. It's too long, but picked up nicely by Robertson. Gives a long hand pass over there to Kennedy. Kennedy back to Platten. Out it goes to Tuck. That's good play by the Hawks. Carroll in front of Brereton. Brereton comes on the scene a bit late. Carroll takes that mark out there at half back. Well, he's up towards the centre wing position. 26.5 minutes gone. Still 159 plays. 68 in favour of the Hawks. Ball tapped back there to Robertson. Back to Lester Smith out wide towards the centre wing position. Coming out to meet it in front of Holden now is Rodney Eade. Short pass. Dunstall grabbed that one right on the boundary line, but he's a heck of a distance out from goal, about 75 metres out. He's already kicked 5 goals. Down to the forward pocket. Brereton swamped by 2 of them there. Umpire giving a free kick. It'll be against Brereton. It goes to Carroll, and Carroll will take the free kick down there on the back pocket position. So Carroll's kick. Good mark to Morris. Quick hand pass. Abbott, Buckenara. So both sides just going through the motions now, I'd say, Bob, because
it's just a matter of seeing out about another 2 or 3 minutes, Luke.
That's right. Short pass. And the mark taken here by Dunstall again. Now he's gone for a short pass again. He spotted a teammate out there in Rodney Eade, and he's grabbed that. So he's inside the 50-metre mark of their attacking zone. The distance might be a bit too far by the time he kicks the ball. Probably kick it from past the 50-metre line. But it's 159 points, plays 68. 28 minutes gone. And this last quarter, the kick by Eads, a good long one into the goal square. Brereton flies, got his hands with Patton, scoops it over the head. That's a goal. So they go to 26 goals, 165 for the Sydney Swans, 9-13-67. Into this quarter by just over 28 minutes.
And on replay now, you see the ball come down the ground. Platten grabs it, and a lovely snap by the little rover.
Yeah, they made a bit of a mistake there on the scoreboard. Apparently they put the Swans theme song up.
I told you nothing was going right.
They can't even get the record right. 67 plays, 165. It certainly put a bit of a laugh into these Swan supporters, and they haven't got much to laugh about today. Mitchell gets a hurried kick, knocked on by Wright. As they go now for Gerard Healy's got a chance to score another goal. Straightens up, and that's right through the middle. Good play by Healy. Now they'll probably put the Hawks theme song up now. Now they're right. They're letting it go now, the Swans theme song. 10 goals. It's very hard to say with a mouthful, I tell you. 10 goals, 13. 10 goals, 14, is it?
And now with the replay, we can see it tapped on by Stevie Wright. And he's kept at it all day. Gerard Healy likewise, and Healy putting through his third goal for the Swans.
Well, OK, the scoreboard, 165 to 73.
10-13 we have it. The scoreboard has it as 10-14, so it doesn't really matter that much at this stage of the game. If it was close, it would. Mitchell knocked away by Robertson. Lester Smith and Edmund. Kappa got his hands on it. Lester Smith likewise with half a football in his hands, and it's going to be a bounce at the 50-metre line. The Swans at attack. Knocked away by Ken Judge. Onto Robertson. Onto Kennedy. Morris at half-back. A good comeback game for him too. Buckenara doesn't get a favourable bounce. Dipier Medico tries to get it out of the pack, not successful. Paul Hawke diving on top of things, and it will be a bounce at centre field. 30.5 minutes gone, the siren imminent. So a relatively early finish to a game up here. They just finish on 5 o'clock Eastern time. Healy, Tui. Must have been 3 Hawthorn players. It's the numbers that went out. Curran to Kennedy. Thought about giving it to Abbott, then goes for the long kick himself. Over the top was Roberts, couldn't complete the mark. Rod Carter. Tackled well by Ken Judge and gets penalised.
They both had him on that occasion.
Yeah. So Judge from half forward to take the free kick. Started on the bench, only came on in this quarter and has already kicked a goal. Judge, a short pass, leading out as Buckenara. He's opposite number 11, Browning, crashes into him. And it will be Buckenara's mark. He's played a very good game today. Short pass back to Judge. It's keepings off here, and there's the siren. That score, will it count? It does. It's a goal, and so Hawthorn getting another goal right on the siren. We'll check the scores. It's 27-9, 171. There's the smile from Alan Jeans. 27-9, 171 to 10-14, 74.
Well, a great win to Hawthorn, and from the very first word go, it was never in doubt, really. After the first quarter, they were sparse superior. The defence was fantastic, winning across the centre, winning right across the centre with Russo playing a fantastic game. And, of course, their forward line, they had many good players on the forward line. Their rovers were superb in Platten and Loveridge. And we must give full marks, Bob, I think, to young Russo in the centre. Not only did he stop Williams from getting kicks or being a dominant player, but played such a superb game himself.
Yes, all over the ground. I think you could probably pick maybe 18 players in the Hawthorn side before you put in too many Swans in your best players.